starting early?
We started early.
Oh,
You had me start early last time.
well,
So we're not really here. We're just here.
Okay.
What happened is I got my drink mixed. Then I'm just sitting here. So I'll just push the start button. So I push the start button.
This way they can hear what's happening.
Yeah, they get a preview.
If you're here for the replay of the live, welcome in. We live stream late in the evening on Thursday and Saturday nights from our shop. We try and work on a car. Tonight there is no car. The car's outside.
Cars are outside.
It's going to start raining. But like, what happens is as you're working on a vehicle that doesn't leave, like over the winter project, things slowly like pile in closer and closer and closer. I'm like, we sorted out a bunch of tools.
Pretty soon all the tools are out of the toolbox and all over the floor. But
there's still, a lot of clutter. So I think maybe during the stream I'll sort of just dance around in circles and clean up some more of the clutter.
This stuff's good.
And then Del Campamino will be back in, or maybe something else. Maybe I'll get to work on one of my vehicles for a day.
Hey, look who's here. Bruce Colchin, here a long time ago. Way early today, hippie long. DF Repair from Alberta, Canada. Welcome.
Sweet.
Lester LeSabre.
Hey, Lester.
Member, Lester LeSabre. Crash's Roadrunner Garage. Dead Cougar Garage.
Crash Roadrunner Garage should be considered a member. How is that not?
Well, he didn't become a member, I guess.
We're going to have to fix that. I don't know how, but we're going to.
You can't fix that because there's like money that comes out of their account. we can't make money come out of his account.
Yeah, but he made a really nice donation.
Oh, he made a great donation. Thank you. And Dead Cougar Garage and Pete's Custom Car Shop.
Hey, Pete.
He was in Mexican Specs.
I saw that.
Thing. And live. I came in at the end, but I probably watched a half hour of it. Buddy Carafano already got a Ford ad. Wow.
2 points. Thank you for telling us Ford is advertising on our. We're a pretty big deal. Ford advertising.
My son just bought a Ford.
My
son and his girlfriend bought a one of those new. I think they bought one that's a year old Bronco. I guess they like it.
Time is Ginger is here from Willimantic.
From Willimantic. Don't know where that is. And Inspector Bruce, member Inspector Bruce, is here. Good evening. Right on the hour.
Asked if we have any broken tools. I think we probably do have
some broken tools.
Tools that need repair and service and cleaning.
There's one here on the desk.
There's a socket wrench that's missing the guts.
Oh, this one isn't broken. Well, it is broken. This came out of a 1/4-inch drive torque wrench. And it was broken. And this came from where I work. And I threw it in the garbage. I pulled it out of the garbage.
Never throw anything
and
away.
I recovered this out of the torque wrench because it's a real nice little 1/4-inch drive that can get down in tight spaces. And I'm really glad to have that.
You really don't want to use all that much torque on a 1/4-inch drive anyways. And then that one, the little ratchet handle is probably...
Yeah, this one's okay.
Oh, that one's okay?
Yeah, there's another one of these.
Why are those back in the drawer?
I don't know why they're not back in the drawer. They got set up here and they didn't get set back in the drawer, so they're there. I don't know. I thought we had another broken one. We had one that, the little...
Cougar Garage asks, aren't the Broncos the most recalled vehicle? Oh, I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't keep up with new cars.
That's because of Ford's commitment to quality and safety. When they find even the slightest detail, they call it in. Come on back.
It's like burned down in the garage. Yeah, we better recall them.
Yeah, maybe recall them.
I shouldn't say that because that's probably not Ford.
Yeah,
probably something else caught on fire. Yeah, it's Tim Geisinger. Tim Geisinger, I guess. I think. I hope I'm saying that right.
You know what? I said Tim is ginger. See, that's like my
Yeah, that's like I looked at that. And thought, what are you saying? Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry, Tim.
I knew a guy that I worked with.
I didn't even notice that I did it.
I worked with a guy that he wasn't Tim, but he had that last name, and he was one of the technicians on the airplanes way back when I was working there. He's crazy.
Now I'm embarrassed. I'm so dumb. Barry Kuda's here. Welcome in.
Good evening. He was also on Mexican Specs, I think. A bunch of these people come over from Mexican Specs. Everybody but Mexican Spec. He's probably getting something to eat.
Can't you blame him? He's been live streaming for hours. I'm sure he doesn't want to be on his computer anymore.
I was looking back there to see what that is in the box. It's that one of those semi-clear boxes.
That's where all the fuel system stuff is stored.
And now I know what that is. You set that up there. We had all these fuel system parts, and it's up there. It's like carburetor kits and maybe a fuel pump and some other stuff that we acquired over the years.
We had a really good time today. We went for a drive in his car.
Oh, it's so nice to drive a car that the brakes work right.
And it runs good. And handles nice. The air conditioning works when you want it to.
If you have one, torque the wheels weekly. Not kidding. It's a Ford notice.
Torque the wheels weekly? That's not a real thing. Like, I mean, it might be a Ford notice, but it's not a real thing. Nobody torques their wheels weekly.
And my Corvette, years ago, I went and got tires on it. And I watched them put the wheels on. They took the wrench. And then I'm looking at that going, like, I know those are over torqued. Then the guy goes and gets a torque wrench and he puts it on those click, 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 click. You know, didn't turn the nuts at all, but clicked them all. I said, man, those aren't torqued correctly. He goes, oh, they're tight enough. I said, yeah, times about 10.
Yeah, you stretched them.
So I pulled it out, went over, parked in the parking lot, retorqued each one of them. But I was concerned with all the studs by then.
These places, low bid work, they don't even know what torque means. They don't know why. They just know they have to do it.
Firefly is here. Clings to it.
Polish stuff.
I was just starting to read that. I thought,
that's vile. Ew.
What's a polished sausage? No, Polish sausage.
I'm making a video about the brake repairs. We refurbished one of the wheel cylinders. We had to replace the springs, and we had to replace one of the missing adjusters. And it's not really the most compelling, interesting drum brake repair videos ever, but it adds character.
It's just
it's what we were doing, so that's what we have to make videos about.
It's so nice to step on the brakes and the pedal is up much higher and it feels right, and it didn't feel right before. Now I know why. The pedal is kind of low.
And when he goes over the bumps, it doesn't scrape.
Oh, no more scraping. And that's because of that shock mount thing. Oh, where'd that piece go that was there? What'd you do with that?
I threw it away.
You threw it away?
It's in the scrap metal pile.
Oh, so it's not thrown away.
It's like cast
crap. It's some kind of like cast pot metal. Yeah, it's garbage.
Yeah, it's just like the cheapest
thing. You know what'll happen though if you actually throw that away?
We'll need one.
We'll have the actual conduit that needs that cover. We won't have one.
It'll be in the next car we buy.
We'll have to go buy one. Instead of going, oh, we got one of these with the.
And then we'll find out that they cost $100 to replace.
Dean Stevenson's here.
Never throw anything away.
7 5/10. It's arrived at 10 of the Firefly. Yeah, I'm good. Shit. Excuse me. I grabbed the greasiest rag I could find, which I didn't want to do.
Rubbed it on your mustache?
And sneezed into it. So then I transferred grease to my face instead of sneeze to the for the ride.
Valfly says another Jeep, another bad ABS hydraulic unit this week. Is that something that you can bench rebuild, or do you have to send out for like what part of it fails, or does it have like an ABS? Does it have like an electric motor that runs the ABS system, or what sensors, or is it everything?
We have one car with ABS, and it's a Jeep.
Oh yeah.
We have a.
It kind of works, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. We have an '08 Jeep Patriot, which is what I call a fake Jeep. But it's, I don't know. I bought it like a joke. I was in Maryland about 5 years ago.
It's more of a Jeep wagon than a Jeep off-road
little tiny SUV. So I was in Maryland, and I was looking for something to use for a winter beater, and that thing was for sale for $1,000. And so I went and looked at it, and a 17-year-old girl had it, and she goes, I said, well, what's wrong with it? And she goes, well, it bucks. It bucks like a horse. And she goes, but don't ask me what's wrong with it, because I'm a girl. And then her father comes out of the house. He's got the key, and he starts it up. Oh, he opens up the hood, then he starts it up. And it sounds like marbles in a blender, in a food processor. I'm like, and he's revving it up. And I'm like, turn it off, He shuts it off, and he comes around, he puts his finger on the power steering pump, and he goes, it's this air conditioning compressor, it's bad. I'm looking at it, and I was like, that's not an air conditioning compressor, But I knew it was some belt-driven thing that was making noise. So it ran good. So I just peeled off $1,000 and handed it to her and called the tow truck and had it towed over to my apartment. It turned out the noise was the bearings in the alternator. And then I ended up putting a power steering pump on it because it was it wasn't working well. So then I had a running car that drove nice for...
and it lived happily ever after.
Drove nice for, I probably had $1,200 in it, And
Chats are getting away from us.
Huh? Chats I know.
You can't tell the whole history.
You're poking me.
Too many wheel nuts get over-tightened, says Barracuda. All of them. They're all of them. Except for the ones that don't get tightened at all. Dean Stevenson says, I was watching Jay from What It's Like on the lower cost 1932 Packard 8. Haven't seen that one yet.
Jay's got kind of an interesting thing, and he always does what is it? I forget the section where he always wants to know which one you want. And he has like 2 or 3, and you pick 3 cars. Yeah. You pick 3, or you pick one of 3 cars.
Valfly says solution. This is on the Jeep ABS system. Is replace entire ABS unit. Internal dump valve failure resulting in excessive spongy pedal travel. What does that end up costing, Mr. Valfly? Or do you not really know? You just do the work. Pete says we have a Renegade. I had a friend who I rode around in the Renegade a bunch of times. I never owned one myself. Do you like it? Okay. Those are definitely more foreign. I forget who makes those. Those are like Italian or something.
Like I remember breaking wheel studs off. Mopar, I had no idea reverse thread.
Well, that's what you do. Instead of over-tighten them, you get left-handed ones, and then you can break them off.
A friend of mine out in California, there's some guy, old guy he knows, bought a 57 Nash. It's like the world's ugliest car. But this guy loves this thing. And the brakes were stuck on it, and he asked my friend to come out there and help him with it. My friend, this guy's name's Vern, he's a pretty good mechanic. And he loves these old, like, 50s and 60s cars. So he goes out there and he tells the guy's going to pull the wheels off for him and do some things. He goes, now, you make sure these are, the wheels on the right-hand side are left-hand threads. Remember that, And looked it over, figured out what tools he's going to need. A couple of days later, he goes out there, and the studs are all broken off on the left-hand side of the car. And some of them, he's taken a cutting torch and cut the wheels to get the broken parts off and everything. He's looking at me, he goes, I told you those are left-hand threads. I go, oh, I forgot. So not only did he break a bunch of them, but he cut the wheels with a cutting torch. So now, they're looking for wheels for a 57 Nash. Oh, Mark Silvey's here. Good evening. Wow. Well, it says ABS unit runs around $3 to $4 grand and has to be programmed by the dealer.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I am not comfortable programming new Dodges due to the access barriers now in place.
$3,000 to $4,000 because somebody serviced the brake system wrong.
Well,
Wow. Jeez. See, if it was my vehicle, I would just put in T-blocks and just eliminate the ABS system entirely.
I bet the computer would go, this isn't working right, and just go into limp mode, and the car won't go over 3 miles an hour.
It would call the police on you.
Yeah, like what's his name up there in New York? South Main Auto, Eric O'Brock up there. His wife's, what is that thing, Kia or something? Kia SUV. She's on her way home on some 2-lane highway, and her car goes into limp mode, so she's off the side of the road. It only goes 3 miles an hour, so she's able to get it off the road. But the problem was the backup camera broke. Well, you don't need that going forward, but it doesn't care. It puts it in limp mode, and you got to get the thing towed to a shop, and he had to fix the backup camera to make the car go forward again. Just, he was not happy about that. But he figured out what the problem was, you know. And that is why when my Mazda 6 got wrecked, and I didn't really have, insurance didn't give me quite enough money for it, I decided to buy a 1978 Mercury Zephyr. Because it's simple, everything makes sense, you know how it works. How much did we spend on that brake job? We bought parts.
For what? Your car?
Yeah. How much? Like $15.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if that had been a newer car,
we'll just throw it away. Pete's Custom Car Shop says I can replace the ABS unit in a Chrysler for around $700, and I also can program it. Done many. There you go. So a shop that has it figured out can do it for much. Is that your cost, Pete, or is that your customer? That's probably.
Well, it might be a different. It might be a different Chrysler too. Yeah, I don't know.
That's painful though. You imagine going in because your light came on for your ABS. I guess that probably doesn't happen often.
Ford Transits have worse ABS units. Machining swarf was not cleaned off very well, and they were assembled dirty. Failure is inevitable. I'm just so tired of all this crap. It's just that's why she has a 66 Dart, and why I have a 78 Mercury, and why we have a 72 Plymouth Valiant out there. And the Jeep will run until it gives us so much trouble that we can't afford to fix it, and then I don't know what we'll do with it. Very cootie. Years ago, a friend of my mother was driving his work van on the highway. Suddenly something smashed the windshield and hit him in the chest. Is a broken stud nut off a bus going, go fast, like the other way. I had a friend that had a Rambler wagon, I think it was a 65 Rambler wagon. His wife was driving it in California, and a set of duals came across through the center divider and hit the front of the car and went up over the hood and over the car on the passenger side and smashed the top down. If there had been somebody in there, they would have got hit with the top. But it totaled the car, and it was a set of duals off some semi-trailer. Patrick, KC9, Cal, CAO. How are you doing? Good evening. Firefly. We had the dealer tech here years ago who couldn't program the ECM we needed multiple times, enough to discourage us from buying the DRV3 equipment and subscriptions. Yeah, that's the other thing. All that stuff costs so much money.
So we took a step back and allowed someone else to stand in front of the train. Sometimes that's what you do. You do what you know, you do what works, and you send people, you say, we don't have the equipment to do that repair. Sorry, we don't want to take the hit. It's rough. But sometimes it's good to specialize in the things that you know you can do and you can make a profit on. And then see somebody like Pete says, I can do that. And then if you're in the same area, hopefully like, oh, Pete's up the road. That's who you want to take it to. He knows how to do the programming on the thing and stuff. I'll give you his number. He's at this address. Going up there and.
And Biofly says we're a small shop, only 4 bays. Yeah, it's about like Eric Abrocta. I don't know if you ever watched him, South Main Auto channel.
Don't watch him. He's too smart.
Well, he's a sharp guy, but he buys
He'll make you feel overconfident.
He buys all that stuff, so it's costly to own all that stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and tying up a bay. I learned how to get paid from a guy that didn't pay me for 7 months, a Porsche Audi dealer that never paid his bills, and he was across the street from me, and he owed me for 7 months. And a guy, one of his mechanics, brought me a gas tank for me to clean out. I put it in the hot tank, and then I thought, I'm going to work on other people's cars. I'm not working on that until I get paid. And that mechanic came up back across the street in the afternoon, and he goes, I need that gas tank. Is it ready yet? I said, you know what? Your boss owes me for 7 months. Here's the bill. I need to be paid before I take that gas tank out of my hot tank. He goes, you can't do that. You're tying up my rack. I go talk to your boss about it. He went across the street. Like 5 minutes later, here he comes with a check. It's like, okay, I'll pull your gas tank out now. What a shitty way to have to work, though, Pete's Custom Car Shop says Eric is my idol. Yeah, Eric's a pretty good guy, isn't he? Eric's fun to watch. Get well, Michelle. Oh, what's going on, Michelle?
Pete says Michelle just had surgery.
Oh.
Has us up on the TV because she can't use her phone right now. Michelle, please get well soon.
And Hippie Wonk, sorry.
Pete, take good care of her.
Hippie Wonk, sorry I upset you with all my bad safety stuff. But when I looked over the trunk and I saw
he was being a jerk.
And when I saw the fire, her screaming fire, 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 there was a little
overreacting a little bit.
She was dramatizing it. There was a little bit of some steam sealer, something, a fire about the size of a candle. She put a paper towel on it, put the fire out. That's why I was not so excited about it. There was not much there that could burn. But you know what? That car is so nice now. The clunkety clunk's gone back there, and the scraping sound's gone, and the brakes work. Man, we drove. I don't know what we drove. We drove it about 60, 70 miles today, maybe a little longer.
It was an hour each way.
It was an hour each way, yeah, but we weren't going all that fast on the back roads.
It was an easy ride. It was, and I was in the back. On the way home, I was riding in the back seat. We had been up for like 4 hours. We were up and got ready, and then we were there for like 4 hours after we rode there. So, I mean, that's a long time for me to be upright in a day. So, on the way home, I laid down in the back seat. And when you have your ear against the floor,
you can hear everything.
You can hear every, and his engine didn't miss a beat. It didn't hesitate on a shift. It didn't make any creaking noises, any whirring noises, my car makes horrible bearing whine noises and stuff like that in the rear end and stuff like that. There was no really bad suspension noises except when you hit some potholes and it sounded like the world was ending, but that wasn't really your fault. That was the potholes. But I mean, the car sounds good. It runs good. It didn't get hot. The air gets cold. It's, knock on wood, ready to go. So we got to enjoy a Saturday for the first time in feels like ages. It was a beautiful day, and it was wonderful people there. Chris, now I got my names because I'm sketchy.
Just a second before this flies away. Lester Saber says that Erico is great, but he says he's not a car guy. He understands the electronic cars quite well. And I watched him trying to do a wheel alignment on a 65 Mustang, and he was tearing his hair out. And I'm like, it's so easy. It's just shims, because I've done them many, many times. But that was like way outside his area of expertise. He really struggled getting the wheel alignment right on the Mustang. And I was like, I felt like, shit, I know something he doesn't know. And there's not very often I know something that he doesn't know. You know?
Mike is here, Senior and Sons of
World of Wood Chips here.
And Granddad's Junk. There must have been another stream going or something, because they all come in at the same time. Welcome in, everybody.
World of Wood Chips stuffing his face with Pepperidge Farm.
He was hippie long, and I was rewatching some of that stream, and I said, "You're on fire duty," and he said, "Uh-huh." That's part of why I was yelling, because I was annoyed with him, because he was very focused on the stream and not helping very good.
But when I looked over there and I saw what all the fireworks you were screaming about,
he was very focused on the stream and not helping very good. And his job was to be prepared. And he was like, "I don't have it." And I was like, "Just gonna sit here and let your car burn."
It's just I dropped it, but what is this hippie like? Still rationalizing not being prepared.
Yeah.
Especially when it's 60 feet away. Well, we have a fire extinguisher here now.
We forgive him. He'll do better. He'll do better.
I'm glad I didn't go. You know, once you fire extinguisher, now there's all this little grains in there,
we didn't
and then it discharges, and then you got to go get it refilled. And you know, I'm glad I didn't do that for that.
You know what?
Like, I mean, I'm not kidding. It was like the fire was like the size of a candle.
After you made a stink, hippie long, he and I, on the way back, walked back to the house, had the discussion about like how we need to better handle that. And then he found the regular fire extinguisher is right there, but it's like behind a 2x4. So he turned around and it's out of his field of vision. And the other one's in the trunk of his car. And we're not welding tonight, or else they would be in position.
Says Boogie Bennett says, "Buff, I found a girl that's 22 years old and looks like Kim." I swear, old man, she's in Evansville. I'll be up there tomorrow. Pics coming Tuesday night. Hell yeah.
So we were at an event for WAP Racing, and Chris and Lily were fantastic hosts. And the new shop
Michelle is on here.
The new shop in Springfield,
Tennessee.
I had a loose screw tighten in my skull yesterday. Whoa.
That titanium screw coming loose.
That sounds serious. I have them in my spine.
Last
they checked, they were still tight. But, you know, my neck doesn't get rattled maybe as much as your head. Working in a shop could potentially
clean that.
give you a loose screw. No, I'm just moving it out of the way. I'm going to clean that corner over there. Cause it's just
that corner just keeps building up.
All it is junk.
It's junk. It's
none
just
of
building.
it is good. So
you have corners like that in your shop where stuff just kind of slowly gets so you can't reach the wall anymore.
Yeah. And more stuff gets piled there because we know that's where the junk is.
Well, yeah, that's the corner I edit out of the thumbnail.
Bad.
Yeah.
And it's all stuff that we end up having to trip over. No good.
But the Carafano says the only thing worse than somebody owing you money is when they pay you with a bad check and ask me how I know.
Oh man, that is.
Yeah, checks. I'm glad checks are kind of. I mean, they're still around, but not too many people.
Yeah, they kind of gone out of stock.
I used to write a check once a year for the taxes, but now, you know, I haven't owed tax in so long. They've always owed me, so yeah, just electronically file. File by rule of acquisition number 78. The bigger the smile, the sharper the knife. Okay. Michelle says, actually, I had a thing called cochlear osseous implant. Oh, I know about those. Okay. I'm half deaf and born with microtia. I don't know what that is. But after many years, I'll be able to hear like y'all. I knew somebody that had cochlear implants. And, yeah, the world came alive to him. What are we working on next? We are going to
Probably bring the
Valiant back in, and
I might bring my car in and fix the fuel sender.
yeah, and we
Not
got
tonight.
the Valiant's been really hogging the shop, and we bring it in here. It's going to be a bunch more weeks, so she needs her Dart has a fuel leak. You can only fill the gas tank up so far, and then it leaks out where the sending unit is. Well, we've had it out several times. She's put new gaskets there.
New gaskets are garbage, and they swell, and then they leak.
Yeah, there's something with the additives in the fuel today that ruins them. So maybe we'll make a gasket out of something. I don't know. But
better. Yeah. Well, and you don't know it's going to be a problem until you put it in, and it is a problem. It's not like you can look at it and be like, "Oh, this is going to be a problem." It's like, "Oh, good, I got my part in. I'm going to install it now." And then you install it, and then you have to fill the tank up before you know that it leaks.
Pete's Custom Car Shop says I've had to pay $30,000 in taxes so far this year.
Good
You
Lord.
say that, is that income tax, or is that like or is that the like sales tax that you collect and then have to? I always hated that. All this money goes through my hands for sales tax, and I couldn't make any money on it. I just had to do the work. I had to keep track of it all, and then make sure I still have it, and then send it. In California, they wanted me on quarterly, and I wanted to be on monthly, and finally talked them into it because I didn't want to owe a quarter's worth of taxes. Holy crap, And then in Ohio, when I was doing that in Ohio, they had me on monthly. I still didn't like doing it. Jill, I can't wait 6 more weeks, and I'll be better for my device. Then I'll be able to hear everything.
Oh, that's awesome! Wow.
Barry Kuda says, I think I heard something about car racing near Greymouth this weekend. Shell says, definitely. I only hear mono since I was born. My right ear has no mid-range ability. So in the mid-range, I hear mono. In the high and low, I hear stereo. But I was an adult before I understood what harmony was. Like people singing, I hadn't figured it out until I got in a car that had a really loud stereo that had some real highs and lows. It's like all of a sudden a light lit up. It's like, oh, I get it. Firefly says the new O-rings can be challenging. I don't think hers are O-rings. That's what I thought they were O-rings, but I think
the car is not an O-ring style.
It's a flat thing, but it's a problem. So every time we think we've got it fixed, she puts gas in the car. She puts too much in, and then it's dripping out on the ground. After a couple of weeks. So we're back to that point again. So she can only put like 4 gallons of gas in the car, and then drive it. And I'm always saying, "You sure you got enough gas? You sure you got enough gas?" She says, "Oh, I'm fine." And then she runs out of gas.
The gauge is weird, so I had the gauge figured out, and now it's not really.
Hippie Long says 66 Dart tank, $119, sending unit $48. Well, it's got a fairly new tank.
Yeah.
The sending unit's good. It's just the gasket doesn't.
I don't know if the sending unit is good.
Well, it was working.
Yeah, it's not.
You got your shirt all bunched up with that.
I know. That's so my boobs look nicer. Because I'm an entertainer, I have to look good.
You got this bun in your back.
Instead of having a bun sheet up, I gotta take this seriously, or we're gonna start.
Well, the inside of your gas tank is in really good shape, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was shiny in there.
Yeah, it's imperfect. Not perfect, but I mean it's more than serviceable. It's not anywhere near.
And I remember you were working the sending unit, and I was looking at the gas gauge, and it was working.
Yeah, it was. I don't know why it's not working so well.
Well, maybe it has to do with the gasket, and the ground is bad. I don't know. I have no idea.
What's all this?
Wildfly. Are the Dodge sending units 0 to 90 ohms? I have no idea. Let's inspect it. The way we checked it was I sat in there and looked at the gas gauge, and she ran it up and down, and it went to full, and it went to empty, and it seemed to work. And the same thing with the Valiant. The Valiant tank was real nice inside too, wasn't it? Didn't we have that one out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked real well too. And it's not leaking. Oh, well, of course we never filled it up.
Yeah.
Well, no, we did fill it up once. Yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah, you know what? When we had to take the tank out, we drained it. It was still full. So.
Yeah, we drained everybody else's gas and ended up storing it in the Valiant. So it was all the way full, and then we had to drop tanks, so we had to take all the gas out of the Valiant. Yep. Because we stored everybody else's gas in the Valiant. Mexican spec. I know GM is 90 ohms and Ford is 120 ohms. Okay. But that's a model drinking blue or cool. Usually a ground to check the tank can be the problem.
Nope, yep. I got a ground on it.
We have run separate grounds for.
There's a ground off of the sending unit, up through the grommet in the trunk floor, and securely ground. Like, it's got a good ground. And see, the other thing is because see, I wanted all this stuff to work, and I'm on like my third or fourth try of screwing around with this. It's just a problem. And
each time she does it all like excessive, like
Mopar,
separate ground and all that stuff. And
Mopars have this little rinky-dink voltage regulator that drops from 12 volts to 5 volts, and it goes in the back of the instrument cluster. I have a cluster over there if somebody really wants to see, but it plugs into the electrical circuit. I bypassed it. It's an old points thing. It doesn't work very good, right? So I bypassed it, bought an electronic one so that it's very precise, and dialed that in when we installed it. But now sometimes it seems to not work. I don't know why, and I got to take it apart again. Every time I start working on the car, we get invested in something else, and then the car gets parked for the winter because I don't drive it in the winter too much, and it doesn't have heat. So, you know, it's just a summer car, and so I work on it for 3 months, and then it gets parked again, and whatever hasn't gotten sorted out just sits and waits again. Granddad's Junk says, I heard Mexico is running out of cars. Some guy is selling all of them. He's trying.
He's trying. Yeah, and the fuel line, we don't have any problem getting fuel up there. I mean, it drives fine. It's just that you can't put more than about 4 or 5 gallons in it. It's dripping on the ground. The other thing she does is she gets rid of that stupid ammeter in the early Chryslers and puts a voltmeter in there. And there's a voltmeter she gets that looks like it belongs there, like the Valiant. Now it has a voltmeter where the ammeter was, which I really like because you can tell what's going on real well, and you don't have every bit of charge from the alternator going through the dashboard. So
and I have some of the car's electronics run through a 12-volt voltage regulator, so it'll take the 14 charging volts and bump it to precisely regulated at 12 volts. So when you're charging your phone, the voltage doesn't go up and down and spike real big and burn.
Oh yeah, where is that? That's in your car, in that's in the Valiant?
In my car.
It's in your car, okay? Because I remember that thing. I remember that thing.
It's a thing that I did, so I could do things. So thing would be done in my car.
Fireflies is that trying to remember the solid state number for the 5-volt regulator. Did I say hi to EFOG? I think I did. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't. Hi, EFOG. Welcome in.
Oh, Firefly says LM7805. You know, that's what happened to me when I was working on cars. Well, the same thing happened working on airplanes. I just pull all the part numbers out of my head. I knew them all, you know, most of them. Most of the stuff that happens a lot, I knew them. There's Chevrolets they had cross-flow radiators, 28-inch wide cross-flow radiator. That was a 1407A. The 3 row is a 1407A. The 2 row is a 1407. It's like, man.
How the hell do you remember that?
Because I'd stock like 10 of them. In about a week or two, they'd be gone. I'd have to order 10 more. You know, and because they fit a lot of cars, and they're long enough that they expand in the middle and they pull the tubes out of the header plate. They fail. And I put a different, higher quality one in, and then I put cross rods through it so it didn't expand. I'd make it so I'd take my work away. I'd make it so it didn't break again. Each custom car shop says, I am 7805. Oh, that might be LM 7805. Just like Wildcat says. They both know the part number.
There you go.
Why do light bulbs wait until they're switched on again to blow? Man, I've got LEDs and everything except my headlight. Man, they are working so nice. Man. They're bright, and you can see them in the daytime, and they're crisp and clean, and they don't draw much power. Now, in the headlights, I don't want those things. It's just terrible. Yeah. The LED headlights that are good are, they're designed right, and you can adjust them, so they don't blind people. But there's no aftermarket ones that are good like that. Yeah, Pete's Custom Car says, DigiKey. Wi-Fi, three lead device, input, ground, output. Olive's here. Good evening. Buddy, the only electric fuel pump in a tank fail is right after I filled up. Oh yeah.
Of course.
Every time I've had to put
what kills it.
Put one of those things in a tank, it's full.
That's what kills it.
Oh, and then GM, do you want to drop the tank or do you want to pull the bed? It's like, yeah. I helped a guy out in Yuma, and we did one, and we cut a hole in his bed. Did a really nice job, and put a what do you call it? Inspection. I'd call it an inspection cover, but we did a really nice job on it. It looked like it belonged there. It didn't look like some acting. Is that part of the
Spitfire? That's
part of the Spitfire. That's another car we got to get in here. The Spitfire will be in here for a while when we get it in here. Because right now it's just a frame and an engine and transmission, a rear end. And I got all these rolls of aluminum that are going to turn into a car.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Pete's Custom Car Shop. I have a prototype lab for development. All says there's no way for a bulb to blow without power to it. I think if you shook it hard enough.
If you shake them hard enough, it'll go out. It will go out.
It's like the old Mazda RX-3s and RX-2s. They had a thing in the back that was like a fuse, that it had a filament with a weight on it. So if you crashed into something, it would snap the little filament because of the weight on it. And I think the ones on the Vegas work like that too. It would I don't remember how the ones on the Vegas would work, but they'd shut the how did that thing work? It shut the fuel off if you didn't have oil pressure. That's what that one was. Because the first Vegas, people would just run them out of oil, and then they'd have to fix under warranty. But GM locked up to that. See, Firefly, I'm working on a replacement custom digital dash for the wagon. Having AI helping me with the coding for it looks promising.
Who is?
Firefly.
For which wagon?
For which wagon? So which wagon? We'll test it when the part arrives. That ought to be fun.
That's cool. That's a really interesting project.
Firefly.
All this giants, I don't understand.
The ESP32 based round LCD display is what I'll be tinkering with. Oh, I see.
Who makes it?
I don't know. ESP32 based round LCD display. It's one that Firefly's working on.
I know. I don't know where that comes from. Just my job, 5 days a week. I'm a rocket man, a rocket man. Rockin' Man.
Firefly. The Vega oil pressure switch wiring. Yeah, you remember that? I'm one of the that was when I was pretty young, so that a lot of people don't even know what a Vega is, or if they do, they don't understand anything about it. Yeah, they see a few of them around that have V8s in them. Man, I used to do a lot of radiators for V8 Vegas. I had a friend that he worked in a machine shop next door to me, and he had a Vega that had it was a little white Vega hatchback, and he put a 283 two barrel in it. So it wasn't real fast, but it wasn't bad. You know, it was just a nice running car, and that was his daily driver. Of course, I built the radiator for that, but man, it doesn't sound like much. A 283 two barrel, basically a stock engine, but man, that made that Vega into just a great car. Firefly 94 Caprice wagon.
Oh.
94. 94. Is that the big, looks like a fuselage, or is that the really square one? I don't remember when they made the change from the square one to the fuselage looking thing. What are those?
Are
those shocks or something?
Skid loader parts?
Oh, skid loader parts.
Skid loader parts.
Each custom car shop. Hammering out wheel bearing tubs will knock out the tungsten on the incandescent bulbs. Mark Sylvain says, Vegas, hard on oil, preposterous. You know, my Vega, the one I drove around every day for a while, it just used oil like crazy. And so every time I filled up the tank, I had a case of oil in the back. It was 2 quarts of oil every tank of gas. And sometimes a little more than that.
2 quarts of oil per tank of gas.
Per tank of gas.
That, I think, is that not considered excessive consumption?
Yeah, that was it was a $200 car that I got. Drove it around for quite a while.
Okay, somebody knew that it was on its last legs.
Well, all Vegas were like that. They were terrible.
All Vegas were like that?
Well, what they did was they did the same thing that Porsche did. They did the silicon impregnated aluminum cylinders. But Porsche probably spent a lot more money than Chevrolet did, or they did it differently, and it worked. And the Chevrolets just they were oil users.
What part was wearing out?
I don't know. Does anybody remember? I don't know. They just didn't seal. Who's buzzing me? I don't. Somebody buzzing at me. Let's see. It's the smoothed out wagon. Okay, it's like big fuselage.
Who got impregnated?
And
Dang.
Racer Ray's here.
Ray of 30.
I don't remember any inertia switch on a Vega. No, it wasn't an inertia switch. I got thinking about it while I was talking. It was the oil switch. It was one where if you didn't have oil pressure, it would shut the fuel pump off.
Oh.
Including in Australia, the version of the Vega is the Holden Torana. Really? I thought the Torana had a real engine in it. The Vega's piss poor engine. And that's one of the reasons I like the Pontiac Iron Duke so much, is because the Iron Duke really replaced the Vega engine. And what a nice engine that was after the Vega.
That fiasco with the Vega. Is all the water gone?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't think so. Oh, that water. I thought you meant the water we carry up here. No, that water's still there. Yeah, there's still some. I had a 74 Camback Vega with a 455 Buick.
Wait, high silicone, were they the cylinder walls no cast iron liners?
They didn't have liners, no. They were.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but Porsche did the same thing and it worked.
Go figure. Porsche's technology was more refined.
You paid a bit more for a Porsche than you did for a Vega. A Vega was, when the Vegas came out, it was a $2,300 car, brand new, you know. It was a cute little car. They're fun to drive. You sat low and it felt like you're driving a race car, but they weren't fast. And it was just a nice little car, but until it was a couple months old and you're pouring 2 quarts of oil in it every fill up. You know.
Wow.
Hippie Long says Corvairs were a quart a week. Were they? Man. It could have been. Firefly, high silicon content aluminum engine blocks wore out. Mark Sauvé, they settled down with the oil consumption when you would go to straight 50 weight. You know what? I used to run, and back in the day, it was easy to buy. I bought straight 40 and put it in the Vega, but it still was using a lot of oil. Firefly says, I don't know if they chromed the bores. They were silicon impregnated, silicon impregnated aluminum, some kind of technology there that GM didn't get it right. Let's see here. The Holden Gemini T car copied the Vega the electric fuel pump wiring. The LMEU car Taranis didn't copy that system. It often had an Opel 1900 cam in the head. I like the old Opels, the Mantas, I really like the old Opel Mantas, but I didn't like the newer, like the running gear and what are those things? Cadillac Cateras. Man, those things are impossible to get parts for. Yeah, and I remember the Opel Cadets, but never had one. I always wanted an Opel Manta, but never had. But I worked on it. Everyone had the honor of working at an Arco when the graphite oil came out. Oh, I remember that stuff. Graphite oil. Yeah, that stuff was black. Looked terrible, but it's supposed to work well. So Pete started making a prototype cochlear implant for me in case the surgeon failed. Very good. Yeah, the Torana didn't have a 4-cylinder, but a 202.6 and a 308 V8. That's that V8 we didn't get up here. And I always wanted to see what one of those was like because I used to get the Australian magazines and they had those 308 V8s, which I thought was a pretty interesting engine, but never saw one in person. Like Carfon, I'll take a Pinto over a Vega. And yeah, like I had a bunch of Pinto wagons that I put the panels on the back, make little Pinto vans. And but I had one with a 2300, but all the rest of them had the V6, the Cologne engine. Wow, good luck finding 10W40 on the shelves at any store.
They have 10W40 at Walmart.
What is that oil we get? We don't see any up there.
There's 15W40.
15W40 or something.
Yeah, I just use it in the machines. The stuff that we don't drive on the road because it's the cheapest stuff you can get because it's intended to be the appropriate weight oil for tractor trailers or whatever.
See, Pete says I use 20W50 in the race car 406 roller. You got a 406 like a FE engine, or is it something else that's 406? So right, buddy, and have whatever that is, but and there's some kind of singing that Dean's doing. I've always liked the Opel Manta GT. They rusted off fast in Boston. See, I never saw that because I was in Southern California when those things were around, and nothing rusts unless you go drive on the beach. Mo Parquet, good evening. Ghost. Prividenia. The Russian word for the night. Prividenia. It's a ghost.
Oh, there you go. Russian word for today is Prividenia. Ghosts. We have ghosts.
I don't know why that came to mind.
And they're making noise.
Firefly, I would love to pave the driveway with raw silicon gravel. Looks like blue steel chunks in its raw form. Picked up a pound of it to tinker with. Chris. Hi, everyone. Hello. Dean Stevenson. Michelle, no laughing. Screws and stitches can fall out.
They will not fall out.
Did they use a torque wrench on the screws? What's the
Dean,
torque?
do not harass Michelle. She's in recovery from surgery. That's a serious thing.
You know, we had deployments in Afghanistan, and I was in the U.S. There's a guy over there that they had doctors that volunteered to work over there, and this guy was probably in his 50s, but he was a doctor, just civilian doctor, volunteered to work over there for a year, and a couple of local guys got in a fight, and one of them hit the other one they got in a fight over a bucket of water. You know, so
Men will fight over literally anything.
So one of the guys had a hatchet, and he hit the other guy right in the front of the head,
with a hatchet,
and cut his skull open. So I guess he got the bucket of water. I don't know.
Jeez.
But anyway, some people brought this guy that had the hatchet in his head into the Americans because they knew they had a doctor there. So the doctor, shaped the guy's head, pulled the skin back, was in there working at it, and he needed something to hold his head together. So he told one of our technicians to go find something. And the guy had a diploma hanging on the wall, and he pulled that off, and it was a little, like a copper strip. It couldn't be a ferrous metal. He's looking for stainless or something that wasn't steel. So he found this copper or brass, I guess it was brass, little thing that's on the back there to hang the thing with, and it had some holes in it. So he brought it to him, and the doctor used that thing off the picture frame and screwed it into the guy's skull to hold it together, and then sewed him all up. And he said when they left there, that guy was doing fine.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he was doing great.
Well, his skull healed back together with a piece of a picture frame.
Last I saw, he wasn't dead yet.
Wasn't dead yet.
So he's doing good. Jeez, oh man.
Small Fire Case says they're drunk and smoking, and even some of the racers were smoking.
Who was drunk and smoking? What did we miss?
Somehow we missed something because I was talking. Mexican Spec says, send some my way. We had 105 degrees here yesterday. That's okay. Pete says she had to get a new screw put in. Oh, I see.
Shit, new screw.
Firefly, I still want to build a non-standard 350 using 327 crank and a 400 block. What does that give you, a 327 crank and a 400 block?
More.
Michelle says, oh my God, Pete, I'm going to smack you. Dean Stevenson, when you laugh, the nuts come out.
It just encourages them. They enjoy the abuse.
Yeah, Pete says their screw is loose.
That's okay because they like the abuse.
Firefly says stainless wire. Very good. Some Holdens had a Chevrolet 307 V8 and 327s and 350s. I used to get all those Australian magazines, Australian Street Machine magazine back in the 80s, and I'd see the small blocks, and then I'd see those 308s, which is just, it looked very GM, but not an engine we had here, and I always wondered what they were like. Because I'd see them in people's cars, in the magazine. Mexican Spec says to Michelle, those with loose screws rarely think they have screw loose. Dean Stevenson says, luckily you didn't have a accurate NSX. They had titanium connecting rods. Really? I had a friend that worked. He was on a design team on that car.
Who had connecting rods that were made of titanium?
The Acura NSX, which here was a Honda NSX, I think.
Really?
They called it a Honda in the U.S.
Honda has good vehicles. They really do.
You know what the NSX is? Looks like a Ferrari. It's a two-place mid-engine, low-swung. Looks like a Ferrari, kind of. I mean, that style car,
That doesn't sound like much fun to drive, though.
Moparte says, that's why no-name naturalists mean so much to me. Friends for life.
Oh, because we're mostly adults.
Firefly says, becomes a 352 cubic inch from the combo. Okay. It's very close to 350 cubic inches, but it's a larger bore, smaller stroke. Probably crank up a bit faster, maybe. I don't know. Just imagine a Chevy 327 with more cubic inches and unshrouded valves. Oh, okay. I had a 400 block crank rods, all that stuff, and I never built it. In fact, I let it go with it. It was some three-way trade or something. The guy wanted it, so he got it. Smoky Unix 4x. Pete says, my dad had a 352 police interceptor and a 58 Fairlane 3-speed overdrive. Man, I drove one of those. It was a car we bought for a parts car. And what we were doing is we were putting an FE engine in a 57 Ford. Well, they never had them. Well, if you get a 58 Ford, everything's bolted in. It's all the stuff you need. It's the shift linkage and the automatic and everything. So it was a 58 Ford police interceptor, but it was a 332 and an automatic. And I drove that thing, and I was amazed at how fast that thing was. Because you wouldn't think a 332 would be fast, but Ford had that worked out real well. And but the day we got it, the car was a piece of junk, and we got all the stuff out of it to put in a 57 Ford wagon. Hey, Leslie Saber, you got to dance. $20.
Lester, thank you so much.
And here we go with the Studebaker splashing.
Lester LeSaver,
Kim got dressed for dancing. He said.
Being the generous individual of happiness. Oh, I'm going to do this.
What are you going to do? Turn off the light?
Show up better. Slow it down.
There's also a 253 cubic inch Holden V8. Oh, man, I don't even know what that is. Turn on the disco ball. We don't have a disco ball.
Why not?
We only have a Studebaker with flashing light.
Studebaker.
Laura Birkin. Let's dance, Kim. Kim's got it. Disconnecting the battery. Firefly, the lights are flickering on the back wall. Does that count? Oh, that's the Studebaker. I don't know. I decided, Kim hung up the front of the Studebaker, and I decided to make the lights work. The only thing that's missing on that really is that one headlight ring.
Money.
What's that?
I only dance for celebratory reasons, not for money. The money is just...
How we celebrate. And then
we need music that comes on.
Music, yeah. Well, then we'll get demonetized.
Yeah. Oh, because our monetization is really.
And we don't want to lose our monetization because of the wrong music. I mean, I couldn't believe it when Jamie and
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, it's a song. I'm sure. I knew it was Mo Market. I just don't know which song it is.
They were playing their guitars. You.
Oh, I knew right away that one.
You put that up. It was like less than a minute later. I had an email that it was demonetized. It happened that quickly, and it wasn't even like recorded music. It was just a couple of guys strumming guitars outside.
But they were strumming the chords and singing the words to a David Allan Cole song. It
figured it out so fast. That was amazing.
It did know it right away.
We didn't get a strike. We just got you're not going to get paid for this. You're going to give the money to somebody else. senior incentives. I had a little 292 and a 64 Ford truck. It was a fast 8-mile all stuck. You know, that's the last year for the 292, at least in the U.S. The last year for a 292 and a car was in 62. I had one of those, and the trucks I know was up to 64.
I'm such a terrible dancer. I feel bad, but I'm the dancer. Because I'm so bad at it.
Tina Turner?
Yeah. Because she's a dancer, private dancer.
Tina Turner was quite an entertainer.
What she's saying is to Pete is, I will dance for you. You. Not for the stream, for you, private dancer. Keyword here, private. Yeah. And on top of being insecure about my dancing, then I have to dance for stream. But I do it because you guys are worth it.
If he wants, he's never going to quit giving me trouble about a fire extinguisher. Well, you know where the fire extinguisher, that fire extinguisher is in Kim's Bronco, because that's definitely a fire hazard. And she didn't want to take it with her, and I go, "You're taking this with you."
Yeah.
Because that thing, it's like electrical wiring. Looks like
it is a giant bird's nest.
It looks like
a giant tinderbox of wiring.
Yeah, like the Black Widow web and fuel lines and shit that falls apart. And more than once, she's had fuel spurting out all over the place, and it's like, are you sure this is safe?
Oh, Michelle says that's the song Mo Parquet was suggesting.
Oh.
Got it. That's one of the things I have to do on warm-up before the stream, is pick music to dance to, even if it's just in my head when I'm dancing, and then I'll be more prepared for dancing. And then I got to loosen up. I understand.
Next suspect, I will not mention Elaine. Who's Elaine?
Elaine is a character from the television show Seinfeld, and she's a horrible dancer, the worst dancer. Oh. And yes, sometimes I do feel like an Elaine. But in my defense, I have neurological damage, and one of the side effects is problems with coordination. Not that I was ever a good dancer.
You have problems with coordination?
Yeah.
How come when you're working, everything comes out so good?
So, like...
Barrows, good evening.
You know how you have where your hand shakes, the Parkinson's? But there's certain things...
Mine is in Parkinson's, I don't
And you
think.
can't make it... That's exactly what it is. I know you're in, like, total denial of Parkinson's, but that's what it's called when you shake without control, and it's a nervous system-based thing, not intentionally shaking. It's called Parkinson's, when you have shaking that's not related to an intent.
But it's on one side, and since I had that crash, and I got all those problems on my left
side. Look it up! If it's temporary, it's still Parkinson's. Anyways, Elaine Bennett, not Bennis, Bennett. Bennis? Maybe it is Bennis. No more deliveries. She's on the list. Uh-oh. I don't know who Annie Mae Bullock is. You got us there, Barracuda. Ray says the fire extinguisher is in my 59. It's between the driver's seat and the door. Right handy if I ever need it. You know what? In Europe, I think part of their safety inspections is fire extinguisher. Everybody's got one. Yeah. It's like super common. And it makes sense. I mean, it is a machine that burns combustible liquid that travels with a continuous supply of flammable liquid. You would think.
I want to buy a couple more of those pressurized fire extinguishers. Yeah. Yeah, and I want to put one in my car and have a couple more of them around. We have a fire extinguisher in the kitchen, which I need to mount on the wall, but it's right there. I can get at it. And then, because, people have grease fires in kitchens, although I've never had one. It could happen. And then, so we do have one there. We have a fire extinguisher here now. And we have, we did the other night. I just didn't know it was up on the shelf. And then the one in your the one in your fire hazard car.
All of the cars? They're all fire
They're
hazards.
all fire hazards. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, mine actually is.
We don't need to name everything. Pete says Jerry Lee Lewis, a whole lot of shaking going on. Yeah, that should be his theme song. Whole lot
And
of
my left,
going on.
because my left hand shakes.
Mean Street Mopar says I've ordered all of the drill bits and the reamer for the oiling modifications on my 318. Hopefully I can get it done without messing it up.
Who says this?
Mean Street Mopar.
Have you been watching Shane Polito and doing all that?
Daily Garage. I'm sure he has.
Oh, that's probably why you're doing
really
that.
Knows it.
Because he's done some videos on that.
It looks like a lot of work, but it's very clearly documented how to do it. So just follow the instructions and you'll be fine.
That event we were at today, I was sitting there eating with Shane, and we really had a good time. It's good talking to him. But yeah, he knows those things real well.
Well, Mopar K is making pork chops and corn. The only thing that makes that better is applesauce. Applesauce, pork chops.
Firefly, brine the chops.
Oh, you're probably right, Firefly. But brining your meat ahead of time is an excellent idea.
You know, Bruce Colchin says he has a CO2 fire extinguisher in the garage, so I don't damage so much cars. And I love those things because first thing, you can go whoop once and it seals back up. It doesn't leak all the pressurization out. It doesn't make a mess out of everything, but it blows a fire out in a second. And they're just so good. But I've gone to buy them, and they're like $250, you know.
Yeah.
For me, that's a major expense right now.
Right.
So I don't have one, but I do kind of want one.
I gotta get back to work. No more farting around and
Can't be wrong. Better yet, the VA will test you for parts for free, but you need to use the VA and Medicare to complement each other. Yeah, I know.
It's like pulling teeth to get him to take care of his health. But he did go in for his...
There is another problem
ear
that
thing.
You don't want to admit, and I'm working on it. You know, I went to all that physical therapy, and it really improved.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have stopped going.
I had to stop. The money ran.
Yeah, you should have.
I should have. I know. I always should have done it a different way. Well, I did it my way. I did it my way, and my attorney's going slow as hell. I don't know what the problem is. You know, it's just dealing with an attorney and an insurance company and cops. Just what a mess.
You have to sue your attorney to get any action.
Street. I watched Shane's videos and talked with him about what I should do. I also watched all the other videos I could find on YouTube on the subject. Okay, so you're into all that. Yeah, everybody else always has a way to deal with my problems. I deal with it the way I have to.
It's always easier to comment on someone else's problems than to live with them or solve them. But we appreciate everybody's trying to help.
What is that?
What is what?
Brake line or something?
That's a brake line off the Spitfire. And the only reason I'm keeping it is because it has the fittings that I will eventually need.
I was going to say it's a broken brake line, but yeah, it's got the fittings.
If I take all the fittings off, they get lost in the tune. But if I just stick the whole brake line up there.
Mopar case to shouldn't practice my dance to the no-name national. I think I'm going to do Twilight Zone. Are you gonna be in the burnout contest? I can imagine her.
Oh, I don't know if she wants to do that.
Yeah, tear a car all up.
Yeah, not every car is good for a burnout course.
I couldn't believe that the first year you were doing burnout contest in your van, which was your trip home.
It was my ride out. You know what? It was all that year. I didn't care. I knew it was my trip home. I knew that I might not make it back. I didn't even care.
Firefly. Save the line nuts. Yeah, that's what she's doing.
That's right. Valfly knows he's got stuck in the... Yeah, you end up buying new hardware. You end up spending more than the replacement parts just on hardware. Like this. This is the bow from an A-body roof thing. You don't throw those out.
Oh, that's for the back half of the.
Where are you going to get one of these?
Yeah, where are you going to get?
Where are you going to get one of these? You can't order it. You spend oversized shipping on one of these stupid things, and it'll come folded in half. Folded in half. If you order a replacement one, it'll come folded in two.
See, Hippie Long says, I have 2 roommates with no teeth who brown whatever meat and pressure cook it. You know what, man, I overdid it last time. Put stuff in the slow cooker, crock pot, man, that meat just comes apart. But I overdid it on that pork I did. I left it in too long. I kind of ruined it. I feel bad about that.
Yeah, try. Live and learn. That's how it goes.
Wildfly says a hoarder. Yeah, we're hoarders too, because anytime you need something, we probably have it already somewhere. And as soon as you throw it away, man, that's when you're gonna. Like the next day, it's like, where is that thing? Oh, I threw it away.
Yeah. And as soon as I put something away, it's lost for forever. It's broken.
What is that? Is this broken? She says.
This is not broken.
Oh, that's a thing that goes on top of that.
That stays with the paint.
That makes a paint can into a paint gun.
You know how your finger gets sore holding down the thing on a paint? These things clip on the top of a paint gun and turns it into paint can and turns it into a paint gun. This one's a Rust-Oleum one. Not all the paint cans have the same lid, but a lot of them
I think that one needs to go through the dishwasher.
No. Man, I washed my car, my Dart. It needs painted so bad.
Yeah, the whole top of her Dart, the paint is so thin. It's like there's a tiny bit of paint, like some tiny thin amount of paint. But
it's like the suggestion of paint.
You can see the primer. You can see the primer color.
You can't just see the primer color. It is not really painted. It's just like a hint of the color they wanted it to be.
Michelle says, we have everything, but you never see it because Pete is extremely organized.
Really?
We are not.
Oh, man, is that an asset to have?
I like being organized, then I don't get anything done. And Kim's the other way. Put shit any old place.
But I can plow through jobs.
She can plow through jobs, but then I'll say, like, where's this? And she'll, oh, that rolled under the car. Okay.
That rolled under the car. That fell out.
Hey, Luis is here.
In Missouri.
Luis is here, and Luis made it to Mexican Specs.
Hey, Luis.
Oh, live tonight.
Thanks for joining in. We appreciate you.
Firefly. Too much acid plus a slow cooker. You'll be eating meat with a spoon. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
I don't know I don't even remember what I put in there, but I overdid it. I should have gotten up during the night and plugged it in. But I did. I plugged it in earlier, and then it was all night plus some, and it's like too much. Like, whoops. Then I got sick from something. That made it even worse, because then you're sick. It's not so good. But see, I thought it was the meat that made me sick. But you didn't get sick from it, so apparently it's something else. Racist says, Max, I'll make the barbecue pork in a stock pot on low. Oh, stock pot on low. Man, look at all the dirt you're throwing out from the wall.
Mm-hmm. It smells like mouse piss.
Smells like mouse piss. Wonderful.
Well, that mouse living in
mouse is good. That's probably pissing down there.
Do you think?
Teach these mice to use the toilet.
Right? Well,
the toilet.
If you would install plumbing, they would use it. But
little mouse toilets.
Little mouse urinals and little mouse latrines and stuff. You'd at least get a mouse.
Make sure they go right bathrooms. No.
Yeah.
No girl mouse in the
That's right.
men's room.
That's right. You can install a mouse urinal because you don't have a bathroom monitor.
Firefly. Slow cooker, pineapple habanero sauce plus pork works well, but does not keep well. And I'm not into habanero. That's a bit hot.
Look at that. That's an unusual spring. I don't know where that one came from.
Okay. Who knows what this is? This is a little spring.
I mean,
oh, it's a stiff little spring.
It is.
Very stiff.
Spring. I've never
seen anything like that. Huh.
A wide flat.
We have one.
It's in here with all the parts from the Spitfire, but I don't know for sure if that's what it came from.
When I was working out in Arizona, the company had some 3-bedroom houses, and they put people in them. You know, I was in there with a couple guys that I worked with. There's a guy who used to watch the news every night. He'd stand there cutting up stuff for his salad, and he always cut up on habanero pepper. He's watching the news, and he's cutting it, and something on the news has got him upset. He's leaning forward and looking, and then he takes his finger and he rubs his eye. And man, he got some of that habanero juice in his eye.
And he go, ah!
He was washing it, screaming, and finally went to the shower and came back. The only way you could get it straightened up. Luis says, I remember that scene, this mouse in All Grown Up from Rugrats. He really likes Rugrats.
He's very big on cartoons. What am I doing? That's why it's piled in a corner.
Sometimes I forget I'm a young lady in the auto world, and my content is not for married men. The guys like you. Street Mopar. I'm trying to build high RPM race engine on a budget. I could get the lifter bores bushed instead of using copper tubing. Bushing the block is $1,000, which isn't in my budget. I could get the lifter bores bushed instead of using the copper tubing. Are they too big? Man, I used to take, little ball hones that you use, the dingle ball hones. I had them for doing brake cylinders, wheel cylinders. And I used to I just woo down through each one of the lifter bores to clean them. But I never had any that were too big. Is that what they are? They're too big? I've never heard of pushing. Maybe that's because I don't build a lot of engines. Bruce Colgan, with all the cars in my buddy's yard, some cars mice don't bother with, and other cars they make condominium hotel. Those are probably the 2-door Chevelles and El Caminos and Mustangs. They're not going to mess with the 4-door Oldsmobile. Something like that. 5,000-pound tank car. They'll leave those alone. I'd be more buddies with Uncle Kathy than Uncle Tony. I'm a girl's girl.
Mopar K, that's probably a good idea. Uncle Kathy is very possessive of her man.
She's funny. She'll be behind the camera. Tony and I'd be sitting there on a live, and Tony would start going down some path of probably politics or something, or investment stuff, and Kathy'd be on the other side of the camera, and she's going she'd start looking at him, going like this, and looking at him and going like this, and he's just sitting there, and he just keeps going with whatever he's talking about, and she'd be trying to get him to shut up. She wouldn't say anything, but man, you knew she wanted him to change the subject, and he'd just sit there like he didn't even see it. Keep rolling. Oh, Pete's Custom Car Shop. Spring for 1157 bulb socket? Oh, I don't think so. Oh, no, because that would short out the two sides together. Because there's two things. No, I don't know what that is.
For what?
Oh, it could be under the like 1157 bulb socket. It could be under the little thing that has the two. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that. It's really tough. I mean, that's a really tough spring, but it's definitely a spring. I mean, you could take a hammer and push on that and not collapse it much. Okay, I've asked him about the rear end for Hippie Long. He says yes.
Hippie Long's been asking for an 8 3/4 rear end for an A body. Trying to get it out to California could be.
You could go for some old style mushroom lifters that are bigger on the bottom than the top. Oh, you know, that's how Y block Fords are. The lifters are really narrow, and they got to go in from the bottom. What a pain in the ass. Yeah, installs from upside down, and the Camry moved. That all Y block Fords are like that. So I'm gonna say something else. Just that WAF Racing. We were at his new location today for an open house, and he's got a one of these laser things that cleans rust off cast iron.
That's pretty cool.
Man, they did a demonstration on that. It just takes. He had a rusty, like a third member, like a Ford 9-inch or something. It was all rusty. Just cleaning the rust off of it like it was nothing. And it worked so well. You got to wear laser glasses, you know, because it's a pretty powerful laser. It's not a light duty laser. But man, what a thing. Next inspect. Does anyone want to see a Dodge Aspen 2-door crash test from the rear? It's not pretty.
That's an interesting link.
I do want to
click it up and watch it later? Or?
I'm going to click it up and say it so I can watch it later. Okay.
It's 7.5 minutes.
7.5 minutes. Full overlap, 35.
Pushing the lifter bores is for oil control.
Oh,
that's
okay.
So the oil, do you drill the copper tube so that they still get a little bit of oil?
See, I'm so unaware of that.
Because the way it feeds, it still has to get the oil down to the main bearings. And they don't want all the oil to end up out through the lifters. I'd have to watch that again. I watched it and was really interested, but I wasn't planning on actually doing it. So a lot of it just
Look who's here. Ari.
Yeah, Ari Don't Surf is here.
Ari Don't Surf. Well, now he moved up to Washington. There's probably not as much surfing up there. Are you still in Washington? This is a nice time of year to be in Washington.
Main Street Mobar says, I wouldn't want to sell 340 if I had it either. I mean, I would want to sell it if I could get a good price on. I mean, they sell for pretty good money. So, I don't know. Unless he's planning on rebuilding it, what are you going to do? Keep it forever? Mopar K says, I can't even find any blocks in my area. No, the 340 blocks, they sell pretty quick. Because people build them and they're very desirable. So,
Firefly says the rust laser blasts the rust off and into the air, so wear lung protection. Probably a good idea. Yeah, I think that it's part of the business there. So they just did a demonstration for a few minutes and it was amazing. But, you know, it's one more thing. He has capability up there. So, yeah, he has the ability to 3D scan objects and have a file then, and then you can 3D print them, which is kind of cool.
Valfly says the rust laser blasts the rust off and into the air, so wear lung protection. I did notice that.
I just read that.
I know, but I wanted to say my opinion,
something.
And I wasn't listening to you. I was reading ahead, so I missed it. Sorry.
Yeah. So she was standing there watching for
it
longer than I did. I just watched for a second.
I don't think there's a lot of danger that a lot of people are just going to randomly encounter one of those lasers without any training. I think those things are pretty expensive.
So I only watched it for a few seconds. I went and got Kim. She was inside, and they were doing it around the backside of the building. They kind of pulled it outside, a roll-up door, and Kim ran around there to look at it. She put the glasses on and was watching it. Well, Parquet says, I posted a video today and plan on doing more. It's very quick, 5 minutes.
Great.
I'm getting more comfortable talking with y'all on camera.
Mo Parquet makes videos.
Mm-hmm.
Were you uncomfortable before, Mo Parquet? Anyways, great. Glad to hear that you're going to be making more stuff.
Pete says, I use lower restrictors in my mod engines.
I mean, when you're modifying them, you may have to make changes to keep it durable under higher stress that you expect to do. Pre-oiler systems for the win, says Bora Birkins. Pre-oilers.
Firefly says,
Oh, is that like a pump that starts the oil pressure before you start the vehicle?
Firefly says, I'll have to buy an aftermarket block to make my Chevy 352 motor.
The idea of having a $2,000 block with nothing in it blows my mind. I mean, it's expensive casting high nickel block. It's not cheap. That's why people rebuild existing stuff, because building it new, and that's why new vehicles cost a lot, because making it new takes a lot of infrastructure to be able to do that. Mo Parquet says, I don't know what to say or what people want to see. Yeah, that's the hardest
You know
part.
what? You think you got something that's really good, and you get about 30 views, and then you do some random bullshit. You think nobody will watch, and you get thousands of views. I don't get it. And we always talk about that. I go,
throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
It's like, why are they watching this? You know?
And the worst of it is you'll do something and it doesn't mean a lot to you, but then you'll get all this response, and then it'll be what everybody wants to talk about, and you're like, oh, why did I ever even?
Buddy Carfano, I hated standing in front of class and speaking in school. Me too. It was terrifying. And then, I don't know, later on, I got elected, because nobody else wanted the job, got elected the president of the local Experimental Aircraft Association. Then I had to run the meetings, and I got pretty darn comfortable with that. And then, then every morning doing briefings in the Air Force, and then in front of a lot of people. And then same thing in the aircraft factory. We'd have like a quick get-together every morning. And I just got comfortable with that stuff. I could stand in front of any group now, but man, when I was in school,
well, it's a skill.
13, 14, 15 years old,
there are people
terrified.
who are just born with like a natural ability and charisma, and I'm envious of those people to some degree, because it hasn't been that case for me. It has been practice and like exposure therapy. Like I would go to, when I first went to karaoke, I was terrified. I would be nervous for days. I was like, I'm not going. I'm nervous. And then
you go do it.
Now I can go do it, and I'm okay. And I get a little nervous, but not really. And the same with live streaming. Remember our first live streams, how awkward and painful it was? And now it's just like, oh, we're going to go live stream. We turn it on. It's like we forget. I had Erin over here. A friend that a kind of new friend, woman.
You remember Erin? Some of you were here, and she was here during the live.
She was horrified. She was like, "Oh my God, I don't know what to say."
I'm introducing people all over the world. She's sitting here, and I'm just relaxed as a guest.
I was like, "Oh yeah, it is."
She'll probably never come over here again.
Yeah, she probably maybe never talk to me again for doing that to her. No, she wasn't.
It was fun. I mean, she sat here and never.
But she was really, really nervous, and she was like having a panic attack after, because it was like so like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. Like, oh wow, I guess it is different, huh?
Ragulium. Gulum. I'll get it right. Yeah, pre-oiler modded dude.
Sweet. Mo Parquet says, main focus during school was school. Raiden's got straight A's. Mo Parquet, you be proud of Raiden and proud of yourself, because it's hard work, and when parents show up and encourage their children, it makes all the difference. So bravo to both of you, to all of you, for making that a priority this year. And compared to YouTube, I would say YouTube is meaningless compared to making sure your kids have the best chance, because the world is hard, careers are hard, jobs are hard, life is hard, and Yeah, getting an education is I don't know. I don't know what to tell you to do better than make sure your kid is as educated as they can be. So glad to hear, because some kids don't do well in school no matter how hard you try. So I'm glad to hear that things are going well. That's great to know.
Ray
Everybody clap for Mopar K.
Ray up there says, "Don't get caught up in what people want. Do what you want."
Yeah, you better do what you want, or else you get stuck doing stuff you don't want to do.
And it doesn't come out good.
And the pay's not good. If they're gonna make you do something you don't want to do, the pay better match. The pay better really match. That's why I work on my car and do what I like.
Firefly says, "Speak in front of." I guess that's in front of people. I have to step outside myself and become someone else. And
you know what? That's a good technique. You in your mind pick a character, and till it becomes more natural to just be yourself. Just be careful that you don't.
Pete says, "My next mod engine is going to be 4.1554 3-inch stroke."
Oh wow!
That sounds like,
That
well,
ought to be
3-inch stroke sounds like a small block Ford or a small block
That
Chevy.
ought to be a high revving motor.
I don't know what the Ford. I'm not sure what that is.
How would you get block with such a low deck?
Well, 302 Ford's 3-inch stroke. 4-inch bore, 3-inch stroke. But that's a much bigger bore, so, and you can't take a 302 Ford out that big, so I don't know what he's doing there. There were Chevy 302 Chevys, which is small block Chevy. You know, their Trans Am engine. That thing was a 4-inch bore, 3-inch stroke, I think.
Okay.
Real close to that. Maybe it was 4 1/8 and shorter stroke. I don't remember. I think it was 4x3. Yeah, and Pete, you said you had a 406. I'm curious what that was. What your 406 is. Because I used to take 390 Fords and bore them 80,000s. Use 406 pistons in them. Man, we had like 11-to-1 compression, maybe more. I don't know. I remember doing compression checks on those engines. They always like a 205 pounds compression. That's back in the day when you get fuel. You know, it was nice. Those engines were fun. And we called them 406s. All they weren't, because a 406 has a forged crank, and the 390s don't. But I don't care. I just didn't rev it that high. Still a nice engine.
Main Street Mopar says he's going to do a combination of oiling mods. And the great thing about Professor P is he's a resource. Like if you are unsure stuff, you could bounce it off of him, and he'll give you his. I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing you've already commented or had some exchange with him. If you haven't, definitely do. That it's what he loves. So don't be at all hesitant to ask him questions if you feel like you need to.
Michelle says, "I can't stay up any longer. Need rest. Glad I could join you all for a bit."
Thank you for being here. Rest. Feel better soon. And soon you will hear us in crystal clear, high definition, Dolby digital sound.
And Pete says 400 board 30,000, so long as Firefly says 4.125 plus 30,000. It's okay.
But it's a 400. How do you have a
3-inch stroke?
Yeah.
With shorter crank.
Wow.
Or wait a minute. No, it's a 400. It's 406. I asked about the 406. So that's just 30 thousandths over a 400. 400 Chevy small block.
Right.
So I don't know what is that.
I don't know, but that should
small. That's that other small one.
A river-upper. A river-upper. Big revving, bigger rever. River-upper. That's all they stand. You're in good hands with all things.
In good hands with all things. Right.
Good hands.
They're the ones that cheated me on this place.
What's that? Oh, those people are terrible. I mean, I don't know if they advertise on our platform, so I shouldn't say anything. demonetized for not talking nice stuff.
He says you got it. Firefly. 3.75-inch stroke, 4.1554. Yeah, that'd be a 400. 400 plus a bit. Boogie Bandit, damn, Kim, wearing them tight jeans on. Make me want to play with some butt cheeks. I should have read that.
These pants are not right.
These pants are not
I had to look nice, though, because we went out.
I don't know why I read that. I shouldn't have read that.
You should not have read that.
I'm just reading.
He got you.
I got like partway through it.
I messed up. You did. You messed up.
Racer says, Boogie Bandit, be chill.
Uh-huh.
Very cool. Like the Beverly Hillbillies had a crossover with Petticoat Junction. Huh? Wow. 3-inch plus 4.125 is 332, I think. Yeah, I did. I got tired of figuring all that stuff out, so I just made a spreadsheet. So at the house, I just go on my laptop and fill the numbers in, and it does it for me.
Right. Need a spreadsheet.
Mo Parquet says, I'm going to pick KB Little Shop butt at the No Name Nationals.
There you go. I don't think JB Little Shop's real happy. I think he got in an argument with a bunch of people, and now he doesn't talk to us.
Yeah, he got mad at us.
He got mad at a bunch of people.
Got mad at a bunch of people. Yeah, I don't know. Mexican Spec says, happy 40th anniversary Top Gun. Has it been that long?
Jeez. Anyway.
So the thing is, Mo Parquet, about JB's Little Shop, it's a 6-cylinder class, so it's a bracket race. So you could race him with a lawnmower, and if you're convenient, if you're
no, they're gonna do a.
They're just gonna do a one-on-one race.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
How did that turn into such a mess?
What turned into? Oh,
it opened while it opened.
Yeah, it just.
I've got you know what a porta power is? I got a porta power set up there, and it's
a big mess.
Completely mess. You can't, all fits just so in the box. I'm gonna show them.
Oh.
It all fits just so in the box.
Yeah, except it doesn't fit.
Except it doesn't fit in the box well anymore. So, box well. That's not a word. Box well, not box well.
Doesn't fit in the box well. Very well.
Okay, so now we're back to normal cam.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not quite in the right place. I'll turn it a little bit more.
I don't know. It'll all work out.
Mexican Spec says, I sure hope so. He couldn't win against Kim. Well, here's the thing. When he was racing Kim, it was 6-cylinder. So it's a bracket race. So it really doesn't matter who's faster. It matters who's consistent.
JB knows how to race cars. Smart guy.
Powerfoot. 3.25 stroke, 327. 404, 4.125 equals 352 cubic inches. Okay. I think we were talking about that earlier, because that comes out, yeah, it's 352.
It's all in fun, and we're all friends in the end. Sometimes you argue with your friends. The true test of friendship is, can you just say, I don't know. Get on with it anyways. Sometimes friends are assholes.
Yeah. Well, Parquet says, I bet River would love to race too. Well, that's the thing is, once you get started in that, then you just want to keep coming around, going and going and going. Or messing with your car a little bit and then trying to make it better.
River will grow into it if it wants to. Yeah.
Well, Parquet says, bone stock 6. That's what I have.
Who has a bone stock 6?
Well, Parquet says, I bet River would love to race too. Bone stock 6. What's he got? Slant 6. Dean Stevenson, 406, the 1 year only, 385 or 405 horse, gross, 1962. 80,000 silver, 390. Yep. Followed by the 100,000 over 406 called the 427, which, yeah, I mean, you can't take a 390 out that big. That's a special block. Yeah, and there were several different 427s. Yeah, Dean, you ever seen the tunnel port 427? Look at the heads on a tunnel port 427. I had a friend that had a tunnel port 427 and a 56 Ford, and that was quite a car. Mopar say Kim's isn't it a slant 6? Oh, Kim's is. Kim's not stock, but
it's not bone stock.
It's not bone stock, but it's not a really built engine either. It's just
no, it's not built engine by
she.
But it's
I don't know.
The head's ported.
Yeah, the head's ported.
But I mean, it has stock exhaust on it, which is like the most restrictive thing you could imagine. And I don't know. It's just a car. It's not a race car. Why is this not closed?
I don't know. I always struggle with that thing. And I get it so it closes, and then if it spills, you never get it closed again. Right. And then a spider just ran out of it, went over to the wall, going like hell.
Yeah, that's what I love, is when the spiders are out. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm going to get it up on the shelf, and then I'm not going to touch it. That's my...
Oh yeah, Racer's talking about the Matt Penn. I forgot. He's racing a little truck instead of his 59 Batwing. Oh, Kim just hit her head on the monitor. Are you okay? That was quite a hit.
No, I didn't really hit it that hard. It's very low. Blew up.
Dean Stevenson says, I wasn't listening very good. I was busy thinking about how amazing a W2 head is. What's a W2 head? Is that like
that big
409 Chevy? I don't know what it is. Or is it like the thing on a what is that thing? That B12 supercar. I can't think of it. It's a W block. Oh, you're knocking the crap out of the camera. Kim's
Listen, I'm trying to get stuff done.
You're trying to get stuff done, but you're
I got a cherry bomb muffler.
You got a cherry bomb muffler.
Got a.
I don't think that's a cherry bomb.
2-inch into 1 7/8 into 1.5 adapters.
Oh, W2 is a Mopar head. See what I know? Roughly most engines with a 3-inch stroke wake up at 3,000 RPM. Most cross-ram manifolds wake up around that speed too. Explains Chevy's 302 combination, pretty much.
You work out a formula, and then you work the formula. That's all been done. That's all right.
Dean. Not even to read that.
Save my nickels and save my dimes, for I knew there'd be a time when I would buy a brand new 409. 409, 409. You'll find my 409.
I think you found a bunch of primary wire. Rolls of primary wire that fell on the floor behind everything.
No, they weren't fall on the floor. I had to use that to fit wiring for my thing.
Yeah, it's nice having that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any fluid in that brake bottle?
No.
No, I was afraid that was it.
No, we need brake fluid.
We bought that in Texas when we went to get my car. And I bought way too much, but I figured it'd last a while. And it did. It's been over a year. It's been over a year and through several brake jobs on different cars. It's good. Oh, Racer's taking off. All right, Ray.
Good night, Ray. It's gotten late pretty quick.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Not really. But
See you all on the funny pages.
For working people, it's late.
Says he's gonna sleep listening to the rainfall. Yeah, that's always nice. If you're in a dry place, listen to rainfall, fall asleep.
Here's the valve body to a 904 transmission.
She found a valve body for a 904 back there, but it's all wrapped up nicely, right?
It's in a bag, yeah.
It's in a bag. Yeah. It's not just laying there all filthy.
No, it's in a bag, so it won't get off. I think this is the one from that. I think this is the one I got from WAF Racing. Pretty sure.
Parquet says Patrick had a muscle car for a bit. Muscle spelled like those creatures in the sea.
Muscles.
But I know what she means. Slimo's here. Hi, Buff. Just finished mowing a racetrack with my old tractor, Ferguson 35, 1958. Man, isn't it fun? Driving an old vehicle. An old tractor's probably really fun. Mexican spec. Do things cost $1 at Dollar General? You know what? They still have at Dollar General for $1. I'm so happy they have it. They have 4 packs of toilet paper for $1. So you can go to the bathroom many, many times, and it only costs you $1. And we went to the grocery store, and Kim goes, "Don't we need toilet paper?" I go, "It's too expensive here." And she started doing the math. All the big packs, little packs, all single packs, everything. And you know what? Dollar General was way cheaper.
Isn't that weird? They must just be one of those things they do to get you in the door.
I don't know. I go in the door and I go straight to the back and I grab all that toilet paper and I come back. It's like I grab like 3, 4, 5 packs, and it's like $5. It'll last us months. You can't do that at the grocery store. Mo Parquet says they have a dollar sale. Well, they probably do. Mo Parquet says that about Dollar General. Dollar General, I don't know, about 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like that, they changed their whole business model, and they kind of moved out into the rural areas instead of being in cities. They're out. There's one out near us, and we're way out of town. And then there's like where my son used to live, a different road out of town. There was one right out there by him. And they're like that all over the place, and they're busy because everybody that's outside of town, that's where they go. They got everything. They even have food and vegetables, and you could go to Dollar General and just you could everything you need you could get there. You wouldn't have the best meals, but you'd have meals and you'd be okay. And everything else you need. Okay. Yep, she says, yep, they have that too. Lasts about 3 days. Guess it depends on how many people in the house. Yeah, that would make a difference.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you have more people in the house.
Well, women tend to use a little more toilet paper than men, sometimes.
Mexican Spec says, is there really a Dollar General every 7 miles like the sleeper did, kids say?
There is.
You know what? I think they're closer than that.
Yeah.
No, I really do.
It depends on how far away you are from town, but if you're on like the main road between 2 towns, yes.
They'll be, like between here and Dixon, well, there's one that's close the other direction, but it's real close. And then you go the other way, and there's several of them between here and Dixon, out in the middle of nowhere. They're just there, and you walk in there, they're always busy. Like,
yeah, they took the place of the old general stores.
And Mo Parquet says every 5 miles, yes.
And they took the place of the old little gas stations that used to be along. There's no little gas stations on the road because people would go to the big, and because it's too expensive to build like a little gas station. Nobody has little 2-pump gas stations anymore. They're just all those big truck stop style, big mega stations.
Today, you were sleeping in the back seat, but we left.
Yeah.
What's the name of that town?
Springfield.
And we're coming back toward the interstate, and there's a little town you go through that's just a crossroads. It's a place where they have a lower speed limit, a cop, Yeah. And there's a little general store there. And I almost wanted to stop there, but we didn't need anything. But it's like, it's an old-fashioned
Yeah,
general
they're
store, probably
really rare.
one of those little stores with wood floors and old shelves, and it's just like, okay.
They're
Buddy
really rare.
Carapano, can't stand cheap toilet paper. Need 2-ply. Just one of my quirks.
Oh, did Ari leave? I never got to show Ari.
Ari was here, and I don't know if he's still here.
Probably left.
He comes and goes. Well, he's a busy guy, I'm glad he
Todd
should.
Sauce here. Did I say hello to Todd earlier?
Oh no,
Tavo's here too.
He just showed up.
Tavo.
He just showed up, and Tavo just got there. They're talking about. Okay, let's see who's here.
He would say something.
I'm scrolling down the list.
I wanted to show him the turbo
It
manifold.
it says he's here, but I don't know if he's really here. Inspector Bruce is still here. He hasn't said much for a while. We got a lot of people here.
Yeah, it's been
31,
it's been. I mean, there hasn't been any dead air tonight.
No.
Is Barrow's Garage still here? I don't
Barrow's
remember hearing his name
still
called
here.
out.
Oh, he was here. Oh, Cat's still with us. Expensive cat from now on, but should be here a few years yet.
Mexican specs say they upgraded from Cottonelle or up to Cottonelle, and he says I think he doesn't use as much. See, he doesn't do that math necessarily. It doesn't matter. For us, it doesn't matter. Toilet paper is not our major expense.
No, and what I buy,
I mean, it
lasts for months. I buy 5 of those packs. It lasts for months. So it's like,
Todd Saul says, John Wayne toilet paper, rougher than a cob and don't take note from nobody. Yes. Tavo arrived 6 minutes ago. Okay. Cool.
We had in the Air Force in the late 70s. We got our budget cut way back. But, they're not going to cut back on the parts for the airplanes. They did a little of that. But they cut back on everything else. And we had this toilet paper they got, and it was, I'm not kidding, it was like spider webs. You pull it off, you couldn't even unroll it. It just come off like in pieces about this big. And it was just like spider webs.
See, that's what happens when they start.
So we had to go, a bunch of guys that don't make a lot of money in the Air Force, young GIs, we had to go buy our own toilet paper.
When they start analyzing prices without any real apples for apples.
Just then another thing, the Air Force, I think all the screwy stuff. This is back in the 70s, and we had in the chow hall they had several kinds of dressings that you'd take a ladle and you put it on your salad. You go through a salad bar. And we had Russian dressing. Well, one day they changed the name of the Russian dressing to Catalina dressing because they couldn't say Russian anymore. Oh man, I thought that was hilarious.
Hurry up dressing, and now it's Catalina.
No more Russian dressing. Had to change to Catalina.
They were sick of paying the tariffs on the dressing.
Mexican sect says, yeah, but they spent $1,000 on a toilet seat. I don't know if they did that, but I know they had $1,000 hammers and stuff. You know why that happens? Because they say, make a spec for a hammer. So some engineer designs a hammer and has a spec for it, and then they got to meet that spec.
And the only one you can meet it is some congressman's brother-in-law.
That's stupid because they could just go find a hammer that would work, and then go, call the company and go, we need 10,000 of these. What kind of deal can we get? No, they got to design one. It's the same thing with bearings. I saw that with bearings. That it's a wheelbarrow bearing or something, and they have a spec for it. Now you got a $300 bearing because they're only making a couple hundred of them. Just typical stupidity, What happened here? That very good. What? Okay, my daughter's 18-year-old cat died the other night. Had a seizure, I think. It was an unpleasant end. Oh, it's too bad.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Awful.
Wow, you made that area look better. What's in that blue container?
Radios and computer parts.
Oh, my radios.
Some radios
cool.
and computer parts, yeah.
And I had a cat that lasted 25 years. Can't believe that cat was that old.
That's pretty resilient.
Well, when I went up there,
The neighbors took her in.
The neighbors took her in. And then when I was gone, so I came back from work, and neighbor's little daughter was like in tears because I came home, and she didn't want to give the cat up. And I said, well, she goes, I sleep with that cat every night. And I said, it's okay with me if you keep the cat here. And her mother says, oh, it's fine. Okay. So I said, I just want visitation. So I go up there once in a while to see the cat. But the last time I was up there, that cat used to just hop up on the couch and, he scratched her. Well, she had a hard time getting up on the couch. She was getting kind of frail. But, yeah,
abrasives have been moved.
She was born in January 1st of 2000. And she made it all the way till, I don't remember what it was. It's partway through last year. Todd saw in 2018, the U.S. Air Force sparked massive public outrage. It was revealed that they paid $10,000 each for replacement plastic latrine covers on C-5 Galaxy cargo planes. Yeah, that's the kind of.
See, that's.
Well, see, what happens is it's like I said. How many C-5s are there? There's like a couple hundred. So they designed a seat for that fits that thing in that airplane, and then when they got to replace it, they got to go remake something that's stupid.
Are political favors buried in allocations. Somebody who knows somebody.
There's some of that.
Sells those, is the only person who sells the correct toilet seat, the only approved vendor to sell that toilet seat. I've seen this because I've bid on government contracts. Nobody can win the contract because only one person has all the approved approvals, and that one person charges 10 times what it's really worth, and the person who it is somebody's friend or neighbor or political donor. That's how, come on, that's how the government does the free.
I was involved in it.
That's how money moves.
It was like, let me do my engineering. X-Inspect says the correct what seat? Toilet. She said toilet.
The toilet seat. Correct toilet seat. Wow, look at this amazing Freon recovery machine. It takes up a big chunk of space that we might never use again.
Well, you bought that thing and you did a bunch of AC. You had AC and everything. But, summer's coming up and we're likely to have AC failures again.
Yeah, it's good to have the right stuff.
Well, the wood chip, Business 101. People don't mind handing over their money if it actually solves the problem.
It does help.
D-Man says I was a 20-year contract worker.
Yeah, but it's so much more work to actually do something than to just have the government give you money for talking about stuff. What's in that yellow bin?
What's in what yellow bin? I don't know where you're looking. I don't see a yellow bin.
This bin beside you. No, not yellow. The pink bin.
Well, there's a big difference between pink and yellow.
Scooch that way.
She told me there's a yellow bin, the yellow bin, and I can't find it. She goes, that one. Then she goes, oh, it's pink.
Look. Next, you're going to want to use words that make sense.
Todd Saw says Archie Bunker used to say the turlet. Did he?
Hold that. That doesn't surprise me, because he's from up in that area.
Oh, he was from New York. Well, I don't know where he was actually from. I mean, in the show, he was from New York.
Mm-hmm.
He used to get upset with people from Jersey. Jersey, no, you're not going to
He was
Jersey.
an actor. I don't think he was actually.
Oh, he was.
Oh, these are license
plates. Oh, I want to get those other license plates down.
Do you know how difficult it is to get these up and down?
I know, but I want to give some of them away. And I gotta, before I die, I want to give. There's some that are really important. And I gotta get them to somebody.
You're not allowed to die.
Somebody that'll take care of them. Somebody that I can pass. There's one in particular that's really something. Yeah, it's like.
Luckily, I know that they are significant. I even know the one you mean. That you can make sure
yep. CD Burlock is here. Very good. In New Zealand, before World War II, we had German biscuits, which are cookies. But because of the war, they've been called Belgian biscuits. They weren't really from Germany. They were just called German biscuits. Get up there.
That's what you get for starting a war.
I knew.
They rename your biscuits.
I knew a guy who picked contractor by who would give him the biggest kickback.
Right.
You know a lot of that shit.
See, now we're talking about it. Come on.
That's why you have security clearances, because you can't talk about that shit.
Yep. See?
So I won't talk about that shit.
You're not allowed to tattle.
I won't talk about that shit, because I saw some of it. It's irritating, because I just want to do my engineering work. I don't want to be involved in that shit.
Just keep your head down and do your thing, and nobody gets hurt. I don't got a clearance, and I haven't even heard any of his stories. I've seen them in my own life. It's just the way it goes. It's always been that way. It doesn't matter what political party. They all do it. They all know how to do it. If you think it doesn't happen, then you need to grow up.
Dean Stevenson says, we used to have Chinese gooseberries, too. Then the Kiwis stole it. Yeah, I always thought they were Kiwis, and I thought they were from New Zealand. And then I find out they're Chinese gooseberries.
Chinese?
And they weren't from New Zealand at all.
Those are Kiwisian.
Kiwisian.
Kiwisian, yeah.
Down here, it's not so much by kickbacks, but who's related. Yeah, that happens too.
It's always something sort of like that. It's always sort of.
I had a guy that wouldn't do squat. I could, he's supposed to be out there, young kid. He's out there supposed to be learning stuff at the test site. Jim's hammer.
Sorry for hammering.
And you couldn't get him to do anything. And he says, you don't know who I am. You don't know who my father is. You just don't know. Well, actually, I did know who his father was. But
you still give him grief.
When you try to get him to do something, that's the answer you get.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit he was.
He had that job as a favor. He was getting paid way more than he was worth.
And then he got put in my house. We had 3-bedroom houses, and somebody'd leave and somebody else would come back. Well, he came in a 3-bedroom house, and one of the rules in there was no smoking inside. So right away he's smoking. And I said, man, I just told you, there's no smoking in the house. He goes, the window's open in my bedroom. I go, there's no smoking in the house. And he goes, the window's open in my bedroom. He just didn't give a shit. He just smoked. You don't know who my father is.
Sorry that you had to think of that, but that's how life goes.
Well, he wasn't out there very long because it was hot desert, and he probably didn't like that a whole lot.
That's all it is. It's a relief when it's gone. That's all it is. Relief when they're gone.
Well, I can't change it. He's just a piece of shit. He'll probably be in the Pentagon next year.
Probably. This is not government contract. But you know what? There's good things like that happen too. Like today, we hung out with the people from WAF Racing, and he's friends with the guy from Mopar Direct Connection. Oh, I got a T-shirt. I wanted to show that.
Oh, where's your T-shirt? You got to run and get it. Oh, you got it in your purse.
Didn't even have to pay shipping. I got myself a brand new Mopar Connection magazine T-shirt.
We were sitting there manning that table for a while. We didn't sell any T-shirts.
I wasn't manning it. I was
girling it. And we didn't sell any T-shirts for him. I feel bad about that.
I bought a T-shirt.
But you bought a T-shirt. Did anybody else ever use China berries from the trees as slingshot ammo?
Boy, that doesn't look good. I'll fix it.
I use things from.
Fix it in post.
We had slingshot ammo, of course. Usually big ball bearings, or dum dum. You know what dum dum is? They use it on trailers, or what you call down under. You call it caravans, and they use it to put between layers of aluminum. It's like gray colored clay. But he worked for a guy, and he used to take that stuff and wad it up around a firecracker and light the fuse, and then slingshot it up in the air. And, bang, up in the air. Well, one time he shot it, and the fuse lasted longer. Went way over top of the Lincoln Mercury dealer, and then there was a shell station beyond that, and it landed on the ground, and the shell station went off. So he's like, ooh, and he put it all away, That was Matt. Senior Matt.
The grown-up, responsible guy.
I was going to call him today, because I called him a week ago today. But we were busy, so I don't know, maybe I'll call him. I've had a lot of laughs from all in the family over the years. Meathead and Archie were a good combination. Yep, they were good actors.
Boy, that shows.
Oh, and then Mopar K says, what's she saying? I was thinking indirect. I got to meet Mr. Wolf. And she goes, oh, never mind. I'm thinking about something else. Todd says, oh, now Kim needs 70 GTX to go with the T-shirt. Man, down there, at WAP Racing, he's got a rotisserie. So he's got a 70 GTX or Roadrunner or Satellite, don't know which it is, but it's in the rotisserie, and they put the what do they call those connecting things, Kim?
Oh, they weld in frame rail connectors.
Frame rail connectors, and they had those welded in. So it was pretty cool seeing that thing there.
Yeah.
John Mick, 73.
Classic.
So I watch them all the time. Oh, it must be. Welcome. I haven't seen you.
I do need a 70 GTX. Thank you for.
And then there was
being aware.
That same guy that you bought that shirt from.
Yeah.
He had his 70
Fury?
Plymouth Fury convertible there. It was a beautiful car.
Wow. There was a lot of really nice cars.
It was like a fully restored, nice job, like over restored, one of those, because they didn't have clear coat on them then. This was beautiful, clear coat, nice. Looked like a brand new, better than brand new 1970 Plymouth Fury convertible. It's pretty nice.
There was a bunch of really nice cars and a bunch of really fun, sporty hot rods. That was so much fun. If you ever get a chance to go down there, if he had some more events, definitely try and make it on.
Who was there that we know from No Name Nationals? There was Dizzy Izzy drove all the way there from Missouri. Holy crap, that's a long trip. And he trailered his race car there and took it off the trailer and did a giant burnout in the parking lot. Wow. And then he had who else was there? Well, Shane was there with his son Cash, and man, I don't know who else was there. Well, Dallas didn't make it. Dallas was going to make it, but something happened, so he didn't make it. I don't know. There are a lot of people there.
There was a lot of people. It's pretty cool. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, check them out. Hopefully, he'll have some photos.
Mopar K says, I love the GTX. I rarely see them. Yeah, there was a GTX there. There was a 68 GTX out the parking lot that somebody drove in. Had the hood open and the engine looked brand new. Had that bluish turquoise color stock engine. Just, that was a beautiful restored car. And then, what else was there that was like that? There's that kid, some guy probably in his 20s, which is kind of unusual now. Had a Ford, like the four-door Fox Body LTD, and
it was after the Fox Body.
No, that's a Fox body. He was one parked next to us.
Okay.
And he had that, I don't know, it's 302. It was punched out to something. I don't remember what it was. But it was pretty nice. The car was okay, but the running gear was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. He had the 6 Smoky stickers and everything to prove.
And then,
Cool.
and then there was that Camaro there, had the big Roots blower on top of it.
Oh, was that ever really cool hot rod? And there was people there from Holly and people there from Edelbrock. And lots of, that guy has got, wow, he's really got some stuff going.
And Dean Stevenson says the Roadrunner was such a bargain in comparison. Yeah, Roadrunners came with a 383 and the GTXs came with a 440. But the Roadrunners, the optional was the 440 or the Hemi. And the GTXs, of course, the Hemi was optional. But you never see them, you know. Every once in a while, maybe. And Todd says GTX is
so valuable, people are afraid to take them out of the house.
68 to 71. Oh, there was or 67 to 71. There was a 67 satellite there. Or was it a satellite? Yeah, 67 satellite there that was really nice.
Yeah. And Dizzy Izzy's, there was another car exactly like Dizzy Izzy's, but beautifully restored there.
And then
Did you see that one?
John says he wants a Demon.
Which
There was John Mick 73. He said he wants a Demon.
Demons are cool.
There was that bright orange Duster there with a small block in it.
Yeah.
That was a really nice car too. And Mo Parquet says, I know where a Demon is. He's trying to sell it for 3 years. Yeah, John, where are you? Mo Parquet is down in southern Mississippi.
Yeah, but how much is he asking? Probably asking too much.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's for sale for so long.
Maybe he's asking too much.
Todd's High, a 68 Roadrunner, first car after I got my driver's license. Bought it for $400. Man, yeah, those were the days. That thing just shit on me.
Sorry.
It's like little spider webs coming off of it. I thought you were going to give those away. I got 2 of them here.
I offered, nobody wanted them.
Nobody wanted them. Nobody applied for that price.
Like, thanks. There's people who pay good money for bath water, but they won't buy our junk. I don't know, what are we doing wrong?
D-Mount said they made those 260 Sprint small block Ford in the early 60s. I've only seen one. I remember those things all over the place. They had, in 1963, they came out with them. And then the new body in 64, they had them. And it was a hard top, means no post. But they were chop top. The top was lower than the rest of the Falcons. Those are really cool. And I had a neighbor across the street had a 260, 1963 Falcon Sprint. Actually, he is father of friends of mine over there. Oh, and Barry Curtis says, remember in the early episodes of Dukes of Hazzard, Daisy had a satellite, not a 72 model, I think.
No, I only remember the Daisy Duke Jeep.
Well, John Mick says he's in Alabama. You might be close enough. Talk to Mo Parquet. And, Mo Parquet's got her own channel. She's got videos all over the place. You can probably reach her in her comments or something. Find out where that is. Oh, he says he put $30K into it.
Woo!
Okay, so he's gonna want a lot of money for it.
Oh, okay, it's done already. Sometimes it's better to buy it done already because you can enjoy it right now. And if you ever want your money back, you can maybe sell it.
She says, "I know what I got."
That's right.
He's one of those. D-Man says, man, that 260 with 4-speed, it's such a light car. I bet it was fun. 260 went almost as good as the 289. You can tell the difference. I also put 260s in with this little God, they sold them at Chrysler dealers. The Sunbeam Tiger had 260s in them. That is a brake light from somewhere. Like junk left over. Bruce Culchin, I have a 221 small block from Ford, 1960. I didn't think those came out till 62.
Who's really smart about brake systems? That shape of pad.
What's the part number? That's a D. It's a Ford part number.
Is it a Ford
Let
part
me see
number?
Let me see the part number. D89
it's so
something.
Dirty.
What is it?
DB919SFF. So you think that's Ford? But I'm sure, this particular slide shape or whatever tells you what kind of car it's from.
Put a car up on it. Wanted to buy a 67 Bet for $500. The father wouldn't lend me the money. Said the car was what? The car wash worth. I'm not sure what that means. Typo probably. I had my 64 Ford Galaxy with 289 in it, and there was a guy that had a black 63 Ford with a 427 stock 427 4-speed it was a convertible. I wanted that car, and the guy wanted $500 for it. And my father goes, "Why would you want to buy a year older car?" Well, I couldn't tell my father. My father didn't know engines. I couldn't say, well, because it's got a 427 Ford in it, it's faster. Then he would have certainly said no. But he said he wouldn't. I was 16. He wouldn't let me have that car. Man, I wanted that thing. We were downtown. The guy let me drive it. It's like Friday night, and we're downtown, and there's a guy, a stoplight, and I take off from the stoplight, and I start getting on it, and this guy, there's a GTX next to me, so I know it's a 440. So I jumped on it, second gear, third gear. Well, then we're to the next stoplight. So I stopped, and I beat this guy by good car length. He pulls up, and the guy that owned the car was in the passenger seat, and he looks over at us, and he goes, "What do you got in that thing?" The guy says, "Oh, it's a 427, but it isn't running very well." And the guy at GTX goes, "It isn't running very well." Well, I thought it was running pretty good, Man, I wanted that car. After driving it that night, I had to have that car. My father, no.
Probably saved your ass.
Yeah, I probably would have crashed that thing, killed myself. The convertible, flipped it over.
Probably might hurt yourself.
Oh yeah, Dean Stevenson said, "I love Flash." Yeah, Flash is my favorite character. Although Daisy Duke looked pretty good sometimes, but Flash was definitely the star of the show.
Star of the show. It wasn't a good episode if there wasn't a scene where Flash was holding it down.
Darrow says, "Good friend of my dad has a 64.5 Mustang with a 260. I bought a 65 Mustang one time, and it had a 289 in it because it said 289 tags on the side of it. I got it, and I had to pull the heads off or something. Ended up having a 3.8-inch bore, and I'm like, I got gypped here. I got a 260.
Oh, you can't say that.
Gypped?
Yeah, apparently that's some kind of
bad.
slur.
That's a slur?
Yeah, I guess so.
I didn't know that.
I didn't.
So I got a bad deal because I thought I had a 289. It said 289 on the side of it. It sure looked like a 289. But 3.8-inch bore. That 221 you were talking about, that looks just like a 289, except it's a 3.5-inch bore. And I remember those things being in like early Ford Fairlanes, 62 Fairlanes and 62 Mercury Meteors. They had a lot of those 221s around us for 62 and 3. But then by then they mostly had 260s in them. I remember what that Ford called that was a Challenger V8, if you can believe that. And a few years later, they dropped that name, and then there was the Dodge Challenger, which was a car, which is what we all remember. Oh, John Mick says, "Love you, Mo Parquet, don't play." So I think DB 919 brake pads are European car part, not specific manufacturer, just the design type. Dean Stevenson says 63.5 Falcon's got the optional 260. Remember, half your birds are a thing. And I don't know. I guess the Falcon Sprint was 63.5. I know it had a low top that was kind of sloped in the back. It's a really good looking car. And yeah, a neighbor of ours bought one of those when I was a kid. So it was 1963. I was 9 years old. So his kids were kids we hung around with. But he had that thing. He had one of those Volvos. It looks like a 46 Ford, that body style. I forget what that Volvo's called. And then one day, he came home in that Falcon. So, man, I like that. Ask Kim to see if the caliper plunger is a big single or a two plunger like a Pontiac. Oh, single piston or two piston? Oh, I don't know. She just had a pad. It was just a box that had random parts in it.
It was not the caliper side pad.
It's not the caliper. I don't know.
I would have recognized the impression. I don't think anything I've worked on recently did, though.
Dean Stevens said people say no 64 Barracudas and no 64.5 Mustangs. Yeah, the ones everybody calls 64.5 Mustangs, they came out in April, but they were all registered as 65s. And then they did the same thing with the Maverick. Came out with the Maverick in April of '69, and they called it a 70 Maverick. There are no 69 Mavericks, but the Mustangs everybody cared about, so they want to call them 64 to differentiate between the newer ones. And but the Mavericks, nobody cares about that, so they never call them a 69.5. Tavo says our only 221 was a completely different shape. Really? It's a 4? Bruce Colchin, I bought replacement pistons for the 221. Turned out to be 6-cylinder pistons. Holy, very well could be. You know, I worked on the first time I went into a 240 Ford inline 6, I was surprised at how many parts in that looked just like a 289. You know, the rocks, there's so much looked just like a 289. And it was a big inline 6 from a pickup truck. Dean Stevenson, he's Boss Hog's spirit animal.
Sure.
Yep, I like that dog. Hey, Flash. That dog just looked like dog looked like it's almost dead.
I thought Boss Hog hated Flash.
Oh, God.
Didn't Boss Hog always get mad and tell him, "Get that dog out of here! Get that dog out of here!"
Bruce Colton says, I think it had 1/4-inch valve stems that were notorious for breaking. Oh, that's possible. They always look like 289 parts to me. Oh, C.D. Burlock wants to know if they're 1 or 2 circles. Well, it's up in a box. It's way up there. She put it on top shelf. So
no,
I don't
put it over there.
Oh, okay. I don't know how important that is. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
put it away.
They think had a 144 as the bottom engine. Yeah, the 144 was the original 6-cylinder Falcon. And John says I had a 61 Falcon. I think the 176. Yeah, it was 61 that came out with the 170. And I knew people who had a 61. They had a old-fashioned TV and radio store where they went out and did service calls and everything. They bought a new 61 Falcon, what do they call it thing? Falcon van, Ford Econoline, and it had a 176 cylinder in it. That thing was not very quick. Had a 3-speed on the column, and
I'll go back. I've got to show him.
But it's good
because he's asked.
Oh, does that have 2? It looks like it has something for 2. Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
That's from the outer fork, not from the caliper. That's why it's like that.
Oh, okay. That's from the side that doesn't have the piston.
Yeah, that might be from my van. That could be from my van. That would make sense for Ford.
255 Ford. I never understood the 255 Ford V8. Never understood that. Like, what did they make that?
Just we were just doing stuff.
Man, I'm glad I never ended up with one of those things. Although it'd probably be real easy to put a 351. 302, of course it would be easy. Well, we never did the model year thing here. The car was called whatever year it came off the line. So a 66 Valiant could be an AP6 or VC. A 69 could be a VE or VF. Yeah, you guys in Australia always talk about all these different letters, VE, VF, VG, V, all this stuff. I guess there's no VDs, but they just, and here we talk model years. So I could never figure it out. I just look at them and go, oh, yeah, one of those. Dean Stevenson says wrist pins. Wrist pins. Oh, that must have been in the last end of everything else he said. 60, Buddy Carpano's 65 Mustang was nothing but a fancy Falcon. Yeah, same basic structure. That kind of mushed the fenders, inner fenders down a little bit. And yeah. Yeah, Dean Stevenson's 70.5 Falcon. Well, you know what a 70.5 Falcon is? It's a Torino. It's a baseline Torino. And they came out with that stupid thing.
It's all about that.
And it was just a cheap Torino or Fairlane or something. 1 year. Barry Cruz says Roscoe and Boss Hogg were pretty nasty people, but the Dukes never took umbrage with them. No hard feelings. Yeah, it's just a crazy show.
Yeah.
It's a crazy show where they smashed up a lot of good Chargers.
I mean, I'm sure there's people who watch it just to see the car. The car was the hero of the show, but everybody wanted to see the car jump.
What is that? A piece of chromoly? Sure looks like it could be.
It's an old tent pole.
It's a tent pole? Well, it's not a piece of chromoly.
No, it's a tent pole.
Okay, Dean Stevenson, Australian XD and half Falcon, an October 80 available alloy head option XD Falcon. Very good. Says every AP6 in my life was in a 66 model. The most VCs I knew were a 67 model, but mine was a 66.
It's more tidy. Still a mess.
D-Man says Olds had a 260 as well. I guess they did. I forgot about that thing. So when they were trying to get gas mileage, they went to all these small V8s. Everybody made their V8s small for a couple of years. But yeah.
We're at 2.5 hours.
We're at 2.5 hours. It's probably time to go home.
I'm going to make him make a short, maybe even two.
Why? I have some in the bank. Let's just go home.
Okay, then we have to come back tomorrow and make shorts.
CD Burlock. You sent me a link to a video. It's from a Geely or Geely, however they pronounce it, Chinese car, where they bump the efficiency way up by cooling the head, way cool, on a separate cooling system than the block. That was a pretty interesting video.
Who sent that?
CD Burlock sent me a link to that. Not that I need a whole bunch of links to a whole bunch of videos because I can't watch them all, but that was pretty good. D-Man Oldsmobile 260 4.3 liter is a compact small block V8 produced by GM from 75 to 82, designed for emissions and fuel economy. Produces 90 horsepower to 110 horsepower and 160 to 205 pounds of torque. Imagine having a V8, 4.3 liter V8 that's 90 horsepower. Man, pushmobile. Because it shares a small block family architecture, enthusiasts looking for an easy upgrade often swap it with a 350 or 403 Olds. Holden had a 253 V8. Harry asked why. John, do you remember the speedometer early 60 Oldsmobiles, the chain colors? Change colors the faster you went? I remember the Buicks had a thing that turned like this, and it was a stripe like a barber pole, but it had a slot, so as the thing turned like this, it looked like this arrow went across, red arrow went across the dash. And you weren't really looking at the speedometer. You were looking at a mirror that you could adjust the mirror for the height. That was 60 Buick. That was a really weird speedometer. I remember that. Oh, yeah, Buddy Carfano, 66 for Tuesday night. Send pictures. That's right, 66 Tuesday night. Yeah, we're about ready to get out of here. So, thanks for showing up, everybody. And
yeah, thanks for donations and your comments and encouragement. We got some more cleanup done. We will be more prepared in the near future here to be working on more cars. And yep, that'll be soon.
You're going to give out any points for people that are here?
Yes, you've made it to the end. You get an additional 3 points
you hung
for your endurance.
You hung a shirt up over the No Name Nationals.
I'm going to take it back down.
Okay.
I just put it up there for tonight. Or maybe I'll get a hanger and hang it up someplace different. I don't want to block the No Name Nationals thing. But thanks everybody for being here.
1 gallon V8. That's a 3.8. Because I always laugh because you go in the men's room and the urinals.
Yeah.
It says 3.8 liter, 1 gallon. So then when I saw that, I knew that those GM engines were 1 gallon engines. That's pretty silly stuff.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you all next time.